Welcome everybody to the second episode of the Bits and Booze Party. Shit, I fucked up.
You fucked it up already. Best podcast ever. Yes, folks, welcome to the second episode ever of the Bits and Booze Partycast, starring yours truly, Johnny Old School, and my man Jesse Wood from Drowning in Footwear.
How's it going, guys? This week, the Bits and Booze Partycast is brought to you by the My Little Pony Friendship is Magic Fleshlight Collection. Yes, fleshlights are magic. Johnny, I've tried these things out, and I gotta say I'm more than pleased. I assume you were sent a box as well, so how was your experience?
I enjoyed the feeling of this silicone horse vagina, but that rainbow glitter lube they sent, that stuff is impossible to clean out your foreskin. The fucking head of my cocks looked like a disco ball for a week now.
Oh, yeah, I knew to stay away from that. But you know, the thing that I liked about them is that each My Little Pony fleshlight comes complete with a cutie mark insignia. And yes, these do come in all 6 of the flavors you'd expect. And not just in color, but each one is meticulously crafted for a unique experience. So you really gotta collect the whole set. And one thing that I thought was very interesting is that the Pinkie Pie fleshlight is surprisingly tight. Very pleasantly surprised by that, considering her hard-partying lifestyle.
Understand?
I guess she's more virtuous than she seems. But on the other hand, Twilight Sparkle, surprisingly blown out.
Wow. Twilight Sparkle, I wouldn't have expected.
Yeah, but I guess, you know, my money was on Fluttershy to be the biggest whore.
Yeah, no kidding.
Quiet ones, but
yeah, quiet ones are the fucking sluts, man. Jesus.
If those librarians are deprived,
you should be able to fit like an actual horse penis inside that thing. Yes, the Fleshlight Pony Collection. Get yours today.
The Bits and Booze Partycast, starring Jesse Wood, Chicken Soup for the Soul's Asshole, and Johnny Old School.
There's no God, and your idiotic human ideals of morality are laughable.
The Bits and Booze Partycast, the only podcast that calls your mom back the next day.
So, yes, this week in the Bits and Booze Partycast, we wanted to talk about a few things that are near and dear to our hearts. And first on the chopping block, let's see. It's a game, I suppose. You could call it a game. It is something from the 90s that if you grew up in the 90s and you don't know about this, then kill yourself. It is Pogs. Everyone loves Pogs. Pog is the word. A commercial told me so.
I'm opening my Pogs right now, and I'm pouring them onto the desk.
The best thing is that I got my Pog collection right next to me here. I've kept it with me all these years, preserved in a plastic binder. All my Pogs are in plastics. That's right. That is right.
I don't have a binder, but I have these 2 little rocket ship shaped things that stand up.
Hells yeah, I know the tubes. For those of you who don't know what Pogs are these small collectible paper cardboard discs with pictures on them. I know it sounds retarded when I say it out loud, but it was this huge trend in the 90s. Think of like a collectible card game or something like that. You'd stack up the Pogs, and then you'd take something called a slammer, which is like a thick piece of plastic, and you'd whip it down the pile, and if you flipped over the Pogs, you got to keep them. So you could kind of gamble against your friends' Pogs. And they got banned from a lot of schools and shit like that because kids got in fights and shit like that. So, but I had a lot of fun with Pogs, man. They started off in Hawaii, I think from that actual drink called Pog, Passion Orange Guava. And they had these little pop tops, these little collectible pop tops, and they put pictures on them, shit like that. Kids thought of some stupid game. I don't know if that's the actual history of Pogs. I'm kind of making that up, but I think I have some kind of recollection of that's close to it.
I thought you were telling the truth.
I think that's,
I was totally following you on that journey.
I know, but I think that's what it is, but I'm just not 100% sure because it's something I read 10 years ago, maybe even more, 15 years ago. So my memory's a little fuzzy. I've done a few things since that period of my life that may have affected my brain chemistry a little bit, so you'll have to bear with me. Now you know the true history of Pogs.
I have lost so many Pogs over the years, because I know I had more than this, because I only have 2 containers, I don't know where the rest want. But I know that, I'm looking at all my slammers, and I know there's some missing. I used to have the coolest fucking slammer.
Oh yeah?
It was this skull slammer with glitter on it.
Nice, glitter skull slammer.
Yeah, it was this badass glitter skull slammer, and the sides of it were serrated like a buzzsaw, and that was cool.
Nice.
That thing was badass, and it's gone now.
Those buzzsaw slammers, when you get pissed off at your friends, you turn them on edge and you whip them down, so fucking smash the top Pog. If it's one of his Pogs facing up, you put this big fucking dent in it to piss them off. I used to do that to my friends, my good close friends. I used to ruin their toys all the time on purpose, right in front of them.
Now the only slammer I still have is this stupid Edmonton Oilers.
Oh, that sucks. Edmonton, fuck those guys. I live in Calgary, and apparently there's some rivalry, so I have to pretend I understand it. But I think it has something to do with hockey. So yeah, darn you, people from Edmonton, you suck. You would never play with something as cool as Pogs.
You don't even know syrup.
That's right.
You ain't real Canadians.
That's right. That's right. Edmonton is like the French Canada of Alberta.
I think like Edmonton hockey is like American football. Like they play it all wrong, and the rest of the world makes fun of them. The rest of Canada thinks they're stupid.
Exactly.
They like play street hockey or something.
I've never actually watched them play hockey before, but I assume it's something like that because of the rivalry. And my town is better because I live in it. So the only slammer I was going to say that I have left is oh, hold on, wait, let me please tell me I still have it left. God. Okay, yes I do. It is a Batman Forever slammer from McDonald's. McDonald's had Pog giveaways with like various Pogs, and I have the entire Glow in the Dark Batman Forever Pog set in mint condition, which is completely worthless. I could try to pay someone to take them away, but they probably wouldn't. But yeah, I got the sparkly gold Batman Forever slammer, and I used to have tons of slammers. But what happened was that I used to have plants in my room when I was 16 years old. I was a plant kid, apparently. I had probably like a dozen different kinds of plants that I tend to.
You're still a plant kid, Johnny.
Well, I've moved on to many kinds. But so I need to water my plants, and I thought I'd just like dump out my my slammers out of this tube and fill that up with water and water my plants and put them back in. And the next time I opened it back up, all my slammers were like rusted. And, like,
oh God!
Yeah, it basically destroyed all my slammers, and the only one I had left that was like worth keeping was that fucking McDonald's Batman one.
And who would have known that Pogs would be something that was like never replaceable again?
Yeah, I know, right?
They literally don't exist anymore. Like we hold the last remnants. I really believe that.
Someday,
you'd have to like go into some tomb like Indiana Jones to find like the hidden cache of Pogs.
Yep, and someday in humanity's future, no Pogs will exist anymore. That will happen. Pogs will be. I don't think that Pog. Well, actually, no. Maybe they will be in a museum. Maybe like the guys at Iron Mountain who like store all, like the actual glossy photos like Marilyn Monroe and all that shit. Maybe they have like a Pog collection in there. I'd like to hope they do.
They're gonna have to bury me with my Pogs. Ain't nobody getting their hands on them.
Hells yeah.
I want to be buried in Pogs.
In
like
Pogs?
just fill the casket up with them so that you can't even see my body.
Hell yeah, man. That's a decent.
Oh
idea.
man. I'm looking at them, like all my Pogs. I got these X-Men the Animated Series Pogs. It's like Gambit and Wolverine on them.
Yes.
Those are my favorites.
Hell yeah, man. Man, I used to have this bronze slammer that we got from like a Christian bookstore like in Washington or something like that just had like maybe like 3 Pog things in some corner somewhere. But this thing was like the heaviest slammer that you would ever have. Like this thing, like you'd pick it up and it was instantly like shocking how heavy it was. That thing wrecked Pogs, man. That thing fucking annihilated Pogs. Pretty sure he probably banned it in a couple of games.
I have a couple of sets that are like Pogs that are like a series of Pogs.
Yeah.
That like they got really creative with these Pogs. Like some of them like tell a little story if you put them together.
Yeah.
Like I have like a set of Pogs that are like a guy like chewing a strawberry.
Yeah.
And I guess it's like really hard and he's like blue in the face or something.
Yeah.
And there's another Pog where he's like chewing on it but he's like dead. And then there's another one where he's still chewing on it and he's just like a skeleton and he's just like falling apart.
Wow. Yeah, that's one of the things about Pogs that still makes them cool is the artwork on them. Like every Pog is completely unique, and some of them have really, really good artwork or interesting artwork, or sometimes like fucking hilarious artwork. And there's tons of Pogs that perfectly represent the '90s extremism. I'm looking at a Pog right here. It says Land Shark, and it's a shark chilling in this like easy chair on a beach, like sipping a martini with like sunglasses on. There's like a whole series of like that shark.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Some of these are just like so unapologetically 90s.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, why would you apologize if it was the 90s when they were made? But it's like...
I have a Pog that says recycle in, like, psychedelic coloring. Yeah.
Yes.
Fucking 90s Pog if there ever was one, man.
I'm looking at one right now that's just like a pair of angry eyes, and then in big yellow letters the words, "So what?"
That's great.
Deal with it. Pogs.
You know those, like, old-style Pogs? Did you ever have the ones that have, like, the little staple in them?
No.
Oh, man. Okay, so, like, the old-style Pogs, these are the ones that were allowed at tournaments, because the staple in them would kind of offset the pile, and it would make it so it was, like, properly possible to actually, like, flip the caps over. Because with the regular flat ones, the game wasn't played, like, quite as well. But, yeah, the ones with the staple, they have a little staple and, like, kind of like a little cutout circle where it looks like a tab, kind of imitating, like, the original Pog, apparently. And one of my favorites that I have, it's just of this badass chicken. It's just of, like, this... It's like, okay, like, picture Cinemasochist, like a buff guy like that, sitting there looking badass. He's got a tattoo on his shoulder that says "Mom," and he's got like this fucking chicken flappy thing, but he's like this buff like fucking badass chicken.
Sounds like the greatest thing I've ever heard of.
Yeah, man, it is one of the greatest things.
This one, it's like a picture of just like a lizard but under it, it just says dinosaur. But it's not a dinosaur. It's just like a little lizard. It says, in case you were wondering, this is definitely a dinosaur.
Oh, man, I'm looking through my collection here. I kept a blank Pog. I got a blank Pog somewhere, and I fucking kept it.
That's like the white M&M. That's like the stuff of legends.
Oh, I got a set from Burger King. Oh, and I remember this set. Do you remember, like, the short-lived Burger King kids? It's like Kid Vid and, like, Snaps and all these, like, racial stereotypes and shit. Well, anyways, yeah, Burger King, maybe it's a Canadian thing, I don't know, but Burger King had, like, these kid mascots for, like, a couple of years. And they came out with these Pogs that just pictures of the stupid fucking kids using their advertisements, like, throwing footballs and, like, pressing remotes toward TVs and taking pictures of dinosaurs and shit. But like in each set you get with your fucking kid Burger King version of your Happy Meal, one of the Pogs would be either like foil like gold or foil silver. I was trying to collect all the gold ones, but I forget what happened. Something got fucked up in that process, but I managed to get all the silver ones, and I still have a silver set of each of the Burger King kids.
Awesome. What we should do is we should take pictures of some of the Pogs that we're describing, and then like put them up as during the images during the podcast, so people know what we're talking about.
That's a very good idea.
Because I'm looking at one right now that needs to be seen to be believed.
Oh, yeah?
It's just like, okay, you remember Gargoyles?
Yep.
Okay, it's a picture of Goliath from Gargoyles, but like the background is like sort of like stripes, like as if it was like an anime and someone was like yelling and you know how the stripes go behind them and stuff.
Yep.
It's just Goliath just like screaming with this look on his face. It looks like something that like I would draw in like MS Paint. Just like, jalapeno!
That's wonderful.
Here's one with like just this like weirdly drawn like realistic looking dog and it has like a little word bubble that says ARF.
Nice.
But it looks like way too mean of a dog to be saying just ARF. I'm having way too much fun just going through and describing my Pogs.
I got like a great series of like Christian Pogs and stuff too.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah, man. I got this one that says "He will return," but it's like the Batman Returns logo, but it's like kind of shaped so it looks kind of like a dove, but it also looks like the Batman logo. That one's great. What we got? Jesus rules.
Yes.
Hell stinks.
Oh, man, I have a Nickelodeon Gak Pog over here.
Oh, Nickelodeon Gak. Holy shit, we could do a fucking podcast on fucking Nickelodeon Gak.
Yes.
I love that shit, but when you think about it, that was like the most blatant marketing ripoff of all time. They basically just mix some fucking cornstarch and shit, put it in neon colors, and like put it in these packages, and that shit would dry out in a goddamn fucking week. Like, and on the back of the package, like little kids love playing with slime, right? What kid isn't gonna play with their brightly colored fucking toy slime and throw it at their sisters and brothers and get it all over the fucking carpet and stuck the goddamn ceiling and shit? But when it would dry out on the back of the package, it said, "Oh well, if you mix some water and like need some water, and it'll help your Gak after it's dried out." No, motherfucker, no, that never worked. After your Gak started drying out, it was done. That was like $7. You would pay $7 in like 1992 for this just like a small container of brightly colored goo. That's probably like $500 by today's standards. Maybe not, but it's probably like $40 or something. I don't fucking know.
Gak made a comeback recently.
Really?
Last year they started playing Gak commercials on the Hub during My Little Pony. That's the only reason I know.
That is
and of course the Ponies latched onto it like the freaks they are and made an inside meme out of it. But
oh man.
Yeah. Well. And Gak was my inside joke first, because whenever I think of Gak, it reminds me of like the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, where like Donatello was fixing the car with Casey Jones.
Yeah.
And they're like playing this like alphabet insult game where they insult each other like with the alphabet.
Oh god.
And they get to G, and Donatello's just like, "Here goes, Gak face." For some reason, it's like the funniest thing in the world to me, because whenever I picture Gak, I just picture like Donatello just like jizzing Gak, like like Gak to me is just like turtle jizz, like
yeah, it pretty much is. It pretty much is.
Mutated green turtle goo.
Gak face, Gak face, Gak face. Hey April, I got some turtle dick for you. Gak face, Gak face, Gak face, Gak.
I love these. I got this series of kind of like old Pogs with like these like kind of like 50s characters pictures on them. Like there's like this dinner party and like everyone's like sitting around in suits and like all the like the 50s girls are in their like frilly little dresses, and this one guy's saying like, "Of course, Dave, we play Pog too. We just wait till the kids are asleep."
Always a nice floral print Pog. Kaleidoscope Pog with a fucking. I have like at least 24 Lucky Charms Pogs. I don't know why I have so many of those.
That's awesome.
Must have come in a box at some point. Oh man, a yin yang. That's my 90s right there.
Yep. I got this series of Pogs that I got out of okay, do you remember those like play places with all those different tubes? Like kind of like McDonald's play places, but way bigger. And sometimes they have laser tag. One was called Crash Crawlies. We used to go to this place called Crash Crawlies, and like you were allowed, like grown-ups were allowed to play like in the tubes too, so like your parents could come with you, and we'd fucking like run around in there and shit like that. But this one place had like a small little games room where they had like a couple of arcade games and like things that you could win tickets on, and they had this little basketball tic-tac-toe game where you had like a tic-tac-toe board, and you throw the basketball into this kind of like pit, and you try to get 3 in a row, and you get some tickets. But the thing is, it was really easy to just step up on the front of it and just drop the ball down in exactly where you wanted it to be, so you could win like I don't know, a shit ton of tickets like every single time you did it. So I discovered that, and I got my little brothers kind of like watch the door, make sure that none of the adults were coming in, and we fucking cheated the fuck out of this machine. Like we used every goddamn token like our parents gave us, and just milked that thing for everything it was fucking worth. And then we used most of those tickets to get Pogs. And a lot of these Pogs are like the most generic, like shitty fucking Pogs. Like the art isn't even good. Like there's one of like, I can't even tell what it is. I'm looking at it here. It looks like guys racing snowmobiles from a front perspective, but it's completely fucked up. I've never seen anything quite like it. Another one is just like, like the cutout handicap, or like the cutout figures on like the handicap washroom, or like regular washrooms. Actually, I don't know why I kept on saying handicap washroom. I'm drunk, boys. But one of them is like those cutout people just like loosely boxing with each other. Boring shit. Much like this podcast is turning into me talking about boring Pogs.
Whoa, there's nothing boring about Pogs. You ever notice how like it seems like so many of the toys that they had during that era were just like disgusting, and we're just like, because I'm thinking of like Stretch Armstrong, like his arms ripping in half and getting that goo all over the place. Yeah,
man. There's tons of those like slimy, messy toys, and it's like, I don't know, all the parents probably just complained so much. They probably had tons of lawsuits, like kid like breaking open Stretch Armstrong, like eating the fucking goo and like suffocating some shit. They eventually banned those things. Some kid like wrapping his arms around his throat while he's trying to jack off and like stretching too tight. Like, it's 50.
If I have to die, I want it to be eating Stretch Armstrong goo.
Eating Stretch Armstrong goo.
I want to be embalmed with Stretch Armstrong goo so that I can be Stretch Armstrong.
Yeah, man.
My body can hang from the rafters by like my stretchy arms.
That'd be great. You can stretch your dick out to like 7 feet long and like whip people with it.
Yes. Yes. Here goes, Gackface.
God.
You expecting maybe the Addams Family?
Oh God.
Yeah.
Why? And it was so good back then. It's
look, Don King.
Yeah. Oh look, pop culture reference that will never die.
Oh God, that's all my Pogs. I went through all really fast.
Pogs were fun.
Pogs were. Oh God, no! Pog disaster!
Phil.
Oh.
Are they okay?
They're everywhere.
Hold on, folks. We'll be right back. Well, Jesse, I'm picturing this scene in my head of you like on the ground as if you're like some beggar and like some person just threw like a pile of coins at your feet and you're scrambling around, shove it towards you.
It's even worse because if you could see like what I'm living in right now,
the conditions.
It looks like I'm like homeless on the streets in here, like surrounded by like crumpled up Wendy's bags and like old wine bottles and shit.
From where you're sitting right now, can you touch at least 3 empty cups?
Yep.
There you go. It's officially messy.
Just like boots everywhere. They don't have another boot to them.
See, I specifically cleaned my apartment before the podcast because I just wanted to. I wanted to. I got fucking nothing. I don't know where that was going. Fuck it. Fleshlight pony collection. Get yours today. There's different flavors apparently. Oh, that's one thing I was gonna say before when you said there's different flavors. That insinuates that you actually licked them. Now that's something I never thought of when I was trying out Rainbow Dash, but I would assume hers would taste the best.
Well, yeah, because rainbow Skittles.
Exactly. That's exactly. I was going with that. Got to taste the rainbow. Catch on quick.
It's a misconception that all bronies are like attracted to cartoon horses.
Really?
But you know what?
Are you sure that's a common misconception? Because I thought that was a fair point.
No. I was gonna say it's a common misconception, but it's not because I would totally fuck all of them.
But imagine what it would be like. Would you fuck them as a cartoon, like you being a cartoon character, or them being a cartoon character like in the real world? Because that would look really weird.
I don't know, because I've been fantasizing about cartoon characters my whole life, so for me it's just second nature. I don't even think about it that hard. It's just like, that's actually a good thing to think about now that I don't.
Yeah, because like when you take a 2D character and you put it in 3D, it looks completely different.
Yeah.
it can't exist in the same way. So it's like
I don't know. I just picture it being like a Roger Rabbit type thing. Like those seem to like blend in pretty seamlessly to the world.
yeah, but that's from an outside observer's perspective. If you were actually in that world and seeing a cartoon in front of you, it'll be like crazy. Like it'll look completely different.
Yeah, I certainly wouldn't want them to look like real horses though, because real horses, shockingly, are not that attractive.
No, not nearly as attractive as you'd think the first time you tried it. I learned the hard way.
It kind of grates on my nerves a little bit because people say like, how can these freaks be attracted to horses, to cartoon horses? And it's like they're not really cartoon horses. They're humanized cartoon horses. They have human features like facially and.
Yeah,
I'm just defending bestiality right now.
Yeah, you pretty much are. You pretty much are. I get what you're trying to say, though. I get what you're trying to say. It's a bizarre mix of like these kind of anthropomorphized.
I mean, like, okay, the same people who make fun of the bronies for being attracted to cartoon horses are the same people who will whack off the fucking Chitara.
Who?
You know, from Thundercats. It's the same shit.
I never really. Well, yeah, okay, I guess I get what you're saying. Yeah, I never really watched Thundercats, but I think I know who you mean.
Oh, come on, you never watched Thundercats. You're like right around that age group.
I know. I watched what I watched when I was young like that. A lot of Inspector Gadget, Looney Tunes, DuckTales, and all that shit.
Inspector Gadget, he's a pedophile.
Definitely is, because he can just be like in his house and just extend his Go-Go Gadget cock and just have it sneak around through the neighborhood in like little girls' windows and stuff. What am I saying?
When I think of Inspector Gadget, I think of two things when I think of Inspector Gadget.
What? Save me.
The first thing I think of is that song from like the Slim Shady LP from like a million years ago. I know nobody listening to this now is probably old enough. Like that song As the World Turns, where the entire first verse is about Eminem getting into this weird situation where he has to fuck a fat chick to survive. Weird. And he's just like, I tried to run, but I remembered this magic trick. Da 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 da. Go Gadget dick.
Oh God. Yeah, that sounds like him pretty much.
Back when Eminem was young and white and beautiful.
Young and white and beautiful.
Before the music industry sapped all the creative energy out of him. Turned him into another Jew like everyone else.
I thought he just kind of like quit because like he had a kid and he actually wanted to focus on trying to raise her properly.
Well, you know what? He has like a new album coming out.
Yeah.
And he's naming his new album the Marshall Mathers LP 2, like trying to recapture the glory of like the original Marshall Mathers LP because he hasn't had anything that critically acclaimed since then.
Yeah.
But it's just like the 3 songs that he's released so far for it. It's like so apparent that he's like a totally different artist now.
Yeah.
That to me it's just like not working. I mean, he's like a 40-year-old dad of like a teenage girl. It's not going to be the same.
I might almost check him out now because like I hated him back in the day because all my friends listened to him. Yeah. Okay. Here's the thing. Okay. I didn't hate him because I thought he was bad. He's one of the most talented people in that kind of like music genre ever to hit the scene ever.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
to hit the scene. What the fuck am I saying? ever to hit the scene. One of the greatest pieces of ass ever to hit the scene. No, he's an amazingly talented person and completely brilliant with his lyrics and everything like that. But his music was always so angry, and I could not listen to anything that's angry. And like all my friends listened to like Eminem and like death metal and like rap and shit like that, and it drove me fucking nuts. You know what I would do after school? I would come home and I would listen to like fucking like Natalie and Brugly and shit. Yeah. Now I did like a bunch of other bands too that were like not fucking pussy like that.
That's like I'm totally the opposite. Because like one thing that I like hate about a lot of popular music today is that there's no anger in music anymore. There's no like real emotion in it.
Oh, I don't mind passionate music. I'll listen to music that's passionate, but it's I guess his brand of anger. It's just kind of like it feels like it's like these tendrils that kind of like get into me, and I just like I just want it to like get away. Like
yeah. Because to me like those like first 2 like big Eminem albums are like my favorite rap albums ever because it's just like. You can like listen to the whole albums and they like tell this story and they paint this picture so vividly of like this is a guy who is so fucking sick of being broke and he's finally got a stage and got the ability to fucking cut loose and say all this shit that's like boiling inside him.
Yeah.
And it's so raw and real on those first 2 albums. And that's why I don't think he can ever recapture that because you can't have that anger when you're a fucking millionaire.
Well, I think if he's going to succeed, he can't try to recapture that. He needs to kind of try to reinvent himself. So,
absolutely.
I think a lot of the people who listen to him have probably kind of stopped listening to him by now. So,
yeah, I mean, it's not often that I buy a new CD, but I might actually buy that when it comes out just to see it.
Hold on, do they actually still have like CD stores?
Yeah, they still sell CDs.
Really?
FYE.
Yeah, because I'm not exactly like the kind of person who goes to the mall very frequently, unless it's like kind of like go there really drunk and just like stare at people, which I do, because that's interesting to me. That's why I go to the mall. But I don't even stare at people in a creepy way. I mean, like people watch. Okay, Jesus Christ, I'm digging myself into so many fucking holes tonight. What the fuck was I saying?
I don't know what the fuck you were saying.
We were talking something about CDs. Oh yeah. I wouldn't know if there's CD stores anymore, like really, but I never see them around anymore. I see record stores occasionally, but
yeah, I mean, like
record stores.
You always hear that like nobody buys CDs anymore, but like I don't know, maybe it's just because all my friends are hipsters, but like everyone I know still buys CDs. Like
really?
Yeah, like it seems like it's not that rare as people say it is that people buy CDs because everyone I know buys them, but everyone I know is like.
I don't know anyone who buys CDs. Like everyone I know plays music off their phone now, and some people.
Well, yeah, I mean, most people put it on their phone, but I don't know. I know a lot of people who are like, you know what, I really like this artist, so I'm still gonna buy the album, which I still do. I buy the album when it's something important, like a band that I really like a Gorillaz or Chili Peppers every couple of years. I'll always buy those.
For their Plastic Beach album, me and my brother Sam Wise went down to the old Brothers show. It was great. What's the fucking intro band? What do you call those guys? Like the openers? Once like those guys pretty much sucked pretty bad. Tried to hype up the crowd, just failing at it. But once those guys were like off the stage and like Gorillaz started up, like you just instantly the place like was just filled with pot. Like you could smell it everywhere. You could see clouds. Like there's people like a couple rows down from us just like passing around. And like there's like a security guard just walking right down the fucking stairs there. And I guess what it comes down to is well, Vancouver's a pretty weed friendly city, but they're probably thinking it's like, well, what are we gonna do? There's like 2,000 of them, and there's like 100 of us. I don't know if that's exactly the attendance at the Gorillaz concert, but you know what I mean, right? Like they can't really stop it.
Fucking dopers.
Yep.
Can't even go to a concert anymore without being awash in a cloud of doobie smoke.
If you got really stoned and you just listened to Gorillaz by yourself, you'd completely change your tune.
God damn it, Johnny! I can listen to Gorillaz and enjoy it without being stoned. I hate that fucking stoner attitude. Everything's better when you're high, man. If you would just get high and open your mind so much.
I'm saying it's different. I'm just saying it's different. It's an interesting experience. It's not. You can't appreciate music without it. It's just
well, sex is different when I can convince her to put her finger in my ass, but sometimes you just can't convince them. Sometimes people just don't want to do that. Sometimes you gotta respect people's wishes not to do the things you like.
I suppose so. Well,
where was I going with that?
I have no idea. We were gonna talk about something else tonight. Games bits related.
Oh, that's right. The subject of the podcast.
Yeah, exactly. The subject of the podcast. I remember now. Actually, I'm just gonna take a quick piss, and we can fix that in post. So.
Well, Johnny's taking a piss, so I guess I'll wander around my room, getting the sound, getting one of these things, grabbing this, and
I got my wireless headset on, and sometimes when I'm pissing, it's like in the exact right area, so I can still hear and talk. So I'm now podcasting while taking a piss. Hope you guys are enjoying that.
Are you done pissing? You should leave your mic on so they can hear you pissing.
I have my mic on. It cuts out in the bathroom. Sometimes they can hear me. Sometimes they can't.
It's like rolling the dice.
Rolling the wireless headset piss dice. All right. Well, I'm back, and the thing we're going to talk about was possibly the greatest side-scrolling game ever made. A game that is polished beyond belief when it comes to that old style of side-scroller that really doesn't exist nowadays a whole lot with our fast-paced 3D world. And that game would be Super fucking Metroid.
Woo!
Metroid. Super Metroid is probably my favorite game of all. Well, not probably. It's one of my favorite games of all time. I'm not going to say it is my favorite game of all time. I'm just fucking drunk. But
it's definitely up there for both of us.
Yeah, definitely. I can come back to that game at any time and pick it up and just enjoy it. It's a perfect example of how you can like set a mood in a game without the need for any dialogue. Like it tells a story very well without the need for any dialogue. It's lovely. Yeah.
And it's one of those like when the art fags, like games are art fags, they always say like, oh man, I really felt like games had become like an artistic medium when Half-Life 2 came out or Shadow of the Colossus, and all this like recent shit. But it's like, come on, dude, Super Metroid did all that shit in like 1995 or 94.
Yeah, something like that. I think it was it 94?
I mean, that game, it's just one of those like really ahead of its time games.
Yep.
And just like talking about like
it's a polished work of art. It's flawless.
That game has the kind of atmosphere.
Yep.
Like the only other game that like approaches it in like atmosphere are like Silent Hill 2 maybe.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. Like games that can like really make you feel a certain way just with like the sound effects and the images.
It's like such an important part of game design and such like an underutilized or like underrated part of game design that like it's important. Atmosphere, man. You put that shit, put you in the world, man.
Exactly.
Look,
I won't get off on a tangent about BioShock Infinite, but that's the reason I liked that game so much, despite the fact that I thought the first-person shooting was pretty lackluster. But that game set an atmosphere like none other. But Super Metroid that's a polished, perfect piece of art. Everything about the game is perfect, right down to like even like the options, where you can like they made it so you can switch between Japanese or English. So they basically make this one cart and ship it everywhere. And everything is like it's perfectly seamless in it. Everything is perfectly seamless.
And then like just like the opening cutscene, where like before the start menu comes up and that music, like dun 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 dun, whatever. It like sets the mood immediately. And like if you play that game even today with the lights off and just like bask in the blue glow of the TV, it'll take you to a fucking to that world.
You're damn right it will. And few games do that. Few games do that, and few games do it as well as Super fucking Metroid.
Like earlier in the year, like I put together some fucking videos. Like I think it was my SimCity review. And like I just needed like 5 seconds of Super Metroid footage just to prove a point.
Yep.
So I put the game in to collect some footage, and next thing I know, I've been playing the fucking game all night because you play it for 5 seconds and you don't want to fucking stop because it's just such a journey.
Yep. When I first got one of my brothers, Max Troid, I've had him on my fucking site before, I think a few times in videos, but he gave me a little USB extension that you can plug an actual SNES controller into. And when I first got that, I figured, I'm like, well, let's test to see how it works. I'll pop up Super Metroid in like a ROM and see how, if the controller actually works properly. I ended up playing it for like 3 days. I was just like, okay, I'm playing Super Metroid now on my computer.
That game had like such tight control too. I mean, like,
yes. Oh my God.
You jump and you land exactly where you fucking want to land. Like, it's so precise, and like the way you can do so many different abilities and things with so few buttons.
Yeah.
It's like, you never have a problem aiming. You never have a problem getting where you want to be on the screen. It's crazy.
Yeah, it was the perfect like Tex-Mex. It was a perfect mesh of like having the actual like controls mixed with the fucking, what am I trying to say here? God damn, I'm drunk.
So much about that game is just so perfect. I mean, like the boss fights are so like intense. Like when fucking Kraid comes out and he's humongous and fucking And the last boss fight when that cutscene where like. And that's another thing, like the cutscenes. It had cutscenes, but they were seamless. Like one of the first games to have like those kind of like convey the story in that way. And it's like seamless. Like Mother Brain's kicking the fucking shit out of you, and you really feel like you're fucking up somehow, and that you're dying, and that holy shit, I'm gonna lose. And it doesn't even occur to you until as it's happening that like this is part of what's going on.
Yeah.
And Metroid comes in, and spoiler alert, but if you haven't played it by now, you're a bad person anyway, so you deserve
exactly. Yeah. But you should play it. But yeah, I like anytime like kind of like a storyline thing happens in the game, it's just like you're in the middle of the action and something crazy happens, and it just eventually you can.
And that's the shit that people like. That people praise like Half-Life for doing so much. Like a couple years later.
Yeah.
And like people still praise games for having that kind of seamless story.
That's a good point. Yeah. That's
like people talk about like The Last of Us doing that, which I haven't played yet. But people like, oh, the cutscenes are so seamless and part of the gameplay. But it's like, nigga, please, motherfucking Super Metroid, motherfucking super ass Nintendo, motherfucker.
Yeah, I remember what I was going to say before that I couldn't get out properly was how they took advantage of the Super Nintendo's actual controller for like aiming like diagonally up and down using the shoulder buttons. Like back then, like I mean, we grew up used to we were used to like the old Nintendo controller that had like 2 buttons, and you get this new one and suddenly got like 6, and that was like the pinnacle of like being able to utilize all 6 buttons.
And even how you can like customize the aiming to like you can choose that you can turn it on and off whether you want to be able to like strafe while you're aiming up or down, which is fucking crazy. Like that blew my fucking mind.
Yep. And there's a lot of like secret little things in it that they never like told you about in the instructions, but sometimes you could pick up little hints in the game like from animals sometimes. I remember like being in like this like corridor and I saw like these little like monkey kind of things. They like jump up towards the wall and bounce off it and bounce back and forth. And that was going to teach you that like if you do like the spinning jump towards the wall, if you press away from the wall at the exact right second, you'll see Samus kind of like
And that
second, and then you can bounce off the wall. Yeah, and if you
that's the kind of thing that games used to do.
Yeah.
That they've completely lost sight of, like that kind of like teaching you the game from just the game. Like everything's a tutorial now that lasts like a half an hour. Everything's a fucking or one of those fucking screens that like show all the buttons and
the first 20 hours are like literally in a school learning how to play the game.
I mean, this is something that like everybody complains about, but I'm no exception. Fuck it, it's fucking stupid that everything's a tutorial now, and games think that gamers are like retarded. But like in those days, the game itself would show you that.
You know why? Because it's motherfucking Nintendo, man. Did you play Super Mario 3, the 3D, Super Mario 3DS or whatever it was?
I played it a little bit, I think.
Okay, they didn't include an instruction manual with it because they basically said like everyone knows how to play Mario. Like you pick it up and you know how to play. Like
the instruction manual should just say, if you don't know how to play Mario, get out.
Yeah, I think the instruction manual is like 6 little pictures, like cartoons of like Mario like doing things. Like that was it. Like that's all you fucking need. You pick it up and you're good to go. And
I do miss instruction manuals though.
Well, yeah. I was gonna say that's not to say that like games that are more complex are like bad or less. I think it's just I don't know. It's something that kind of gets lost is being able to teach the player how to play your game without making them like sit through tutorials.
Yeah, without breaking the engagement.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like fucking Call of Duty, where like you literally like are going through like this training thing. So many games have that. I think it'd be kind of cool if like you just started off right in the action, like more.
Like it's almost like beating a dead horse at this point to rip on Call of Duty, but like seriously, fuck Call of Duty.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, like
play with friends.
I mean, I can still play like. I mean, I'm sure like to this day I could put in Call of Duty 2 with my friends and have like the time of my life.
Yeah.
Because Call of Duty 2 multiplayer is like one of my best multiplayer memories in games.
Yeah.
So, like I don't. It's not that I hate the series or the franchise. It's more that I hate what it's become.
Yeah.
It's basically just become like the Madden of.
Yeah. It's totally. Yeah. It's become the Madden of shooters. Definitely.
And I think its popularity has just like created this like weird like homogenization where everybody's ripping it off and everything is the same now and everything's brown and gray and realistic military shooters. And it's just unfortunate is what it is because you wouldn't get a Super Metroid today.
Not from Sony. That's for sure.
I mean, unless it was from Nintendo. Nintendo knows what they're doing most of the time.
Nintendo definitely knows what they're doing most of the time. Yeah.
I want a Wii U so bad, but I'm so in the poor house living in a pizza box.
You know the best thing about Super Metroid, by far, that it makes it the best game of all time, is the fact that if I plug it in right now, I don't have to download any fucking updates.
Yep.
I don't have to ever fucking update. That makes every Super Nintendo game the best game of all time.
And I know I've harped on this so
you have to
fucking
download
much.
fucking updates every goddamn fucking day. Fuck. Why updates? Why do everything has an update now? Oh my god. Everything in the world has updates to it. And like your fucking phones, your cameras, your refrigerator, your fucking car. Cars have updates. You have to download updates for your fucking cars. Like fuck. Just make it. Finish it and give it to me.
You have to download updates just to make the game not be fucking broken. Because every game is released broken with shit that doesn't work and shit that deletes your saves or fucking game-breaking glitches. And I was just arguing about this the other day with some fucking underage cunt on Skype. He's fucking...
Go on. Well?
I meet these fucking underage cunts on the internet.
Apparently.
I talk to them because I'm a pedophile, and they all talk about this shit. I mean, I met this girl, she's giving me all this shit. He's like, oh, you're a fucking console baby. She's a fucking 16-year-old kid who fucking plays video games. She's a fucking retard. And she's giving me all this shit. You're a fucking casual-ass console baby. And I'm like, motherfucker, you're fucking 16. You know nothing. You've played 3 games in your life. You play fucking Dark Souls and Dota, whatever the fuck Dota is. I guess I'm that behind the times. I don't even know the lingo anymore. All the kids are playing Dota nowadays. What is that? Dicks of the ass? Dicks of the asshole. That's what Dota is.
It has something to do with the World of Warcraft universe. Or the Warcraft universe. World of Warcraft.
Homo shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like I'm trying to explain, because she's on this like PC is better than console thing. And I'm trying to explain I can play Super Nintendo whenever the fuck I want, lady.
Yep.
It's just, you can't get through to them. These fucking fanboys of any kind are insane. And it's just like, she's like trying to argue with me, and I'm just like, you don't get it. I don't fucking care.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
That means I win by default because I'm not this fucking invested in this meaningless drivel as you are.
Yeah, exactly.
Ugh, god damn it, I hate people so much. But that fucking Super Metroid, man, good time.
But Super Metroid, always good times with those Super Metroid.
Never disappoints me like people.
Yep. Except you can't fuck Super Metroid. You can
if
try
only
to
I
get
could.
you can get like part of your dick skin and like the little like cracks of the front of the cartridge, but
You can blow it at least.
you can definitely you can blow it. You can definitely blow it. You have to blow it before anytime you play with it, pretty much. These days.
Man, that fucking it was so innovative. Like I don't know if any game did the map thing the way it did before. I mean, obviously the first Metroid kind of did, but like the way Super Metroids was like so like.
I don't think the first Metroid had a map at all.
Really? That's
Yeah.
I know Metroid 2 doesn't have a map, which is why I hate that
I remember
like clusterfuck so much.
I remember like going to like they had Nintendo Power issues where they had like all the dungeons mapped out and shit like that. I remember like playing through it and looking at the dungeons, whatever mazes, whatever the fuck you call it, and that like those game designers were fucking evil because they'd make parts of the game look specifically exactly like other parts.
Yeah, you like would have to buy Nintendo Power because that'd be like the only maps in the game.
You'd go through this corridor and you find this part of the game. You're like, oh fuck, I'm back here, and it turns out it's like, no, that's actually somewhere new, and there's like a secret item in here that you need, and we just tricked you into thinking that you don't need. Like, fuck, those guys are dicks in that game, but yeah, you
Absolutely
need Nintendo Power for that.
You know, like
I eventually beat that game. I'm proud. I beat the original fucking Metroid with Nintendo Power.
Metroid. I'm lost in my Strawberita. I'm finally drinking my birthday Strawberita.
Nice. When's your birthday?
My birthday was in July.
Oh yeah.
One of my friends, she got me like for my birthday a Strawberita because everyone knows that I love these fucking things and I drink them. I sip them like fucking crack. I just like.
That's probably got so fucking sugar in it. But you have like 2 of those and you wake up like.
Oh, they're so good. I mean, like, and they're like, there's a lot of alcohol in them too. I mean, like, they're little, but you drink 3 of them and you're like on another planet.
Yeah.
But like, she got me this Strawberita and she
rainbows
for my birthday, and she put a little bow on it with polka dots, and she put an ICP sticker on the bottom.
That's great.
And I've been saving it for a special occasion. And what more special of occasion than the Bista Boost Party Cast was Johnny Ols through on the good old Interminets.
Interminet?
Oh man, but yeah, I wanted to like. I was thinking of like the first time that I played Super Metroid because like. Obviously, I was alive when it came out, and I was playing games by then because it was like 95 or 94 or something. But I didn't have a Super Nintendo because I was a Sega Genesis kid right up until the PlayStation came out, and then I started making my mom get me everything because I was fucking spoiled little shit.
Of course.
But like back then, I only had a Genesis. I never had a Super Nintendo, so I missed out on all the great Super Nintendo games until when I was 13. My mom got married to this guy. Who lived in North Carolina. So we had to move, and we had to move all our shit to North Carolina. It was
fun. Exceptionally
difficult for me at my age.
Yeah.
And I guess to like soften the blow, she bought me a Super Nintendo.
That's exactly what she did it for too.
and the games that she bought me, the games that I had for it were Super Metroid and Yoshi's Island. 2 of the best games ever.
Oh yes.
So at least I picked good ones.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, back then it was almost. Actually, no, that's not true. I was about to say back then it was harder to pick bad games, but that's not true at all.
But like I remember like
myself in that one.
Being down there in North Carolina for like the 2 years that I lived there and being so like depressed and miserable because like no kid wants to be like going through puberty and be ripped away from all of his friends and go live with a bunch of hicks who.
No kidding.
And I was an awkward fat shit and I smelled bad anyway, so I didn't have any friends and nobody liked me. And I got picked on and bullied all the time and turned me into the fucking enraged fueled maniac that I am today. But I was so I was like really fucking lonely and depressed, and I remember like those years when I was like 13 and 14 and 15 in like middle school, just depressed every day, no friends, and I'd come home from middle school every day and just lock myself in my room, and I'd play Super Nintendo and play Super Metroid, and that game took me to another galaxy, man.
Yep, sure did.
That's like a special memory that I have attached to that game. So that game will always be special in my heart, even if it wasn't the best game objectively ever, which it is. So it's a win-win.
It's the best game of like what it was. That side-scrolling adventure, it was just perfect. And I'm talking about like more than like just like the game itself. I'm talking about the experience of like sitting down like with a physical, Super Nintendo console on an old CRT TV in a dimly lit room as a kid with Super Metroid. Like nothing will compare to that. Nothing will compare to that.
I mean, it sounds so lame, and like we both know that it's fucking retarded to get mad about like people's opinions on shit. I mean,
of course,
obviously it's retarded, and I have favorite games. You might have different favorite games. But there are some games that I believe are objectively 10s, and I'll fight a motherfucker if they disagree. And Super Metroid's one of them.
Yeah, Super Metroid. Yeah, if you can't say that Super Metroid isn't a 10 out of 10 video game, then I don't think you've played it, or like you just are just trolling or just kind of like being a dick or like.
Or you're underage.
Or like
you're an underage
kid.
faggot.
Yeah, well,
PC
you're
fanboy
a kid who's never
cunt who's gonna get fucking Chris Hansen coming to my house just for arguing with your ass for 40 minutes.
It'll happen sooner or later.
God, I hate fucking teenage girls so goddamn much.
I love little girls. They make me feel so fun.
It doesn't even matter who like I'm currently complaining about, because when I really think about it, I just realize like there's not a race or age or sex that I don't despise for their own specific reasons.
That's pretty much true. Yeah. You're filled with a lot of hate.
You could name like a race, age, and gender at random, and I can give you a list of specific reasons why I hate that specific set of people.
See, I'm worried. I'm worried for you though sometimes, because it's like it's a horrible life to live where like everything sucks and you hate everything, but at the same time it's like hilarious and like you're clearly like fueled by it. So it's like there's got to be like some balance there where like you don't truly hate everything. But
I like people. I mean, like, that reminds me of, like, another Carlin quote where he's like, now, people don't always realize this about me, but I like people.
Yeah.
For about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
No, but, I mean, I hate everyone, but, like, I get pretty attached to people pretty fast, and I love my friends a lot, and,
yeah.
You know, I put a lot of importance on people who actually show me the respect that I feel is coming to me.
I see.
Now, when people don't respect, I hate them, which is most people.
Why do you think you're just owed respect though? Isn't that earned?
No. Okay, I'm so fucking sick. People giving that fucking line. If you want my respect, you gotta earn it. Respect.
Oh, I'm not.
You gotta give it to get it. You gotta earn people's respect. No, it's fucking. I know, but it's fucking bullshit. Okay, no one should have to fucking earn respect. That's just ignorant ass people. You should get respect for being a human being. And when people can't show another human being the fucking respect that's coming to them just for living in this fucked up world, it makes me sick to my stomach. And when people fucking look at
respect. Yeah.
When I don't get showed respect, I get pissed off. No matter who it is.
Yeah. It would be great to live in a place where people are just they have a little more human decency. We're a little bit more empathetic towards each other.
It's so rare that people get that when I do meet somebody who comes at me in like a respectful way.
Yeah.
Then I instantly get attached to that person. I'm like, okay, I can be friends with this dude or this chick.
Yeah.
It's such a simple thing. I mean, like, just be nice to me, motherfuckers.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be like that for the rest of your life. There's gonna be people who are just dicks and people who aren't. It's like there's really nothing we can do about it.
Except for genocide.
Well, there is genocide, yeah, like gas chambers and stuff like that. I got a little project in the background, but that's for the next podcast.
That's for all those Super Metroid haters.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and the Jews.
Especially that fucking noise. I just want to picture Hitler like rubbing his hands together.
Oh God. Yeah.
Oh God, Germans living underground in a fiberglass tree.
Oh, that was such a good scene. We are the jockeys are we. We live underground in a fiberglass tree. I think I know the entire song too.
Oh God.
Between earth and hell we reign supreme. A toadstool something by a chocolate stream. But all is not well in Jockey Town. Your renegade horse is making us frown.
That whole episode. Excuse me, but the Simpsons already had a horse in season 1. Lisa gets a pony.
Yeah. Just breaking the fucking fourth wall all over the goddamn place. Excuse me, the Simpsons already had a horse. I always love it when comic book guy comes out and like they kind of acknowledge that they're like repeating the episode. Comic book guy would pop out and be like, "I'm watching you."
God, I miss the Simpsons so much. I wish it could be like it was. I wish I could be like I was when it was like it was. You know?
Yes, I do know actually. That...
It's just a roundabout way of saying that I wish I was still in 6th grade.
Pretty much, yeah.
God, coming into lunch every Monday and shooting the shit with my friends about like what happened on The Simpsons last night.
Yeah, those are some good fucking times.
God, when fucking Stan Lee fucking smashed the thing into the Batmobile.
Wait, what?
Broke? Or made it better?
Oh, yeah. yeah. And kids like all crying and shit like that. Are you sure you wouldn't like a Marvel action figure?
You broke my Batmobile.
Yeah, broke or made better. Good old Stanley. He's a good
You
sport.
know what I think? You know what I think is my favorite episode ever of The Simpsons is the Treehouse of Horror, where Homer goes into like the 3D world.
Oh yes, yes.
And that was also the one that had the groundskeeper Willie as Freddy Krueger.
Yep, that's my favorite Trios of Horror of all
Yes,
time.
and
Yep.
the mascots coming to life.
Shinning. No, it was the Shinning and the 3D and wait, maybe I'm thinking of a different one.
The Shinning was fucking great too.
Oh, I'm thinking. Wait, no, it was the Shinning, the one with the time traveling toaster, and then the 3D world. That's the one. That's the Trios Horror I'm thinking of. Pretty.
Those
pretty.
old fucking Treehouse of Horrors were so fucking beautiful.
I thought the blood. That's odd. Normally the blood gets off at the second floor. Everyone's just fine with it.
Oh god, I love The Simpsons so much I could puke.
That's a lot of love. You just can't contain all that. Can't contain all that love.
It could just be probably this expired birthday Strawberita.
It's expired, eh?
I don't know, probably.
Probably.
No, it probably doesn't get expired.
Well, I'm sure it expires someday. But
Yeah, still good.
alcohol usually stays pretty dapper for a couple of years at least.
Dapper.
Dapper.
Oh man.
Wow, Dapper Dan is the name of the barbershop quartet that sang "Baby on Board" for that episode of The Simpsons where they're all part of the B Sharps. How's that? A fucking
That is obscure.
wraparound loop for you guys there. And I know so many fucked up things about The Simpsons, man, because I've watched like every fucking DVD. Well, from all the good years up to like 15, basically. But like I've watched all the commentaries like a couple times in certain instances. So there's a period in my life where I got this thing called an MFix player. You pop a hard drive in there, you put TV shows on it. Like this is like back before media centers existed. This was kind of like the first one, and I thought this thing was fucking awesome. So I just like loaded up with nothing but like every episode of The Simpsons. I just had that playing on my TV 24 hours a day for almost 2 years of my life. Like I didn't really watch TV. I just left it on. And I'd fart around the computer and like do my thing. A lot of times I'd be like watching something on my computer while Simpsons was playing in the background. I'd be like watching a movie and Simpsons would still be playing.
That sounds like one of those things where like just having Simpsons on in the background at all times would like enrich your life so much.
It kind of did.
Like that sounds like the life to me right now. Like
you'd have no idea how many episodes of The Simpsons I actually have like memorized, like legit fucking memorized. Like I can see an episode now, and I probably sit down here and just like go through an entire one of my fucking favorite episodes.
that's like how I am with like Clerks the animated series.
Oh, so
which
good.
Granted, there's
So-
only 6 episodes, so it's easier. But I must have watched every episode of that show
Oh,
a
man.
million times, like
That
in
is-
the span of like 1 week when I was a kid.
Yeah. We first saw that when we were like my parents had like this lake house, and we went up there, and I was like 20 at the time, or maybe a little bit older than that. But I was just like spending a couple weeks up there with like the family, and we bought like a bunch of just random DVDs from some little shop up in the boonies there, and we got the Clerks animated. Actually, no, wait, where did we get that fucking from? Jesus, now I can't remember where we fucking got it from. I think that's
It's like so unknown and like so fantastic.
it
For
really,
like being as like short-lived as it was.
Yep. I would love them to bring it back because it was beautiful. It was so fucking funny, but like so like you could tell Kevin Smith had toned it down to like try to appeal to kind of like kids.
Yeah, and you know what? The weird thing is like, I sort of feel like putting those restrictions on himself and being forced to tone himself down made his humor better.
Yeah. It actually
Because I think like I love Kevin Smith. I love all of his movies, his whole oeuvre.
Yeah.
You know, I practically like grew up watching Kevin Smith movies, but I think like a lot of the times he gets lost in his own passion for toilet humor and stoner humor.
Yeah.
And he sort of gets lost in it, and it sort of stops him from telling, you know, fucking whatever the fuck I'm trying to say. But I think like being forced to tone it down for that animated series led to some really clever writing.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, anyone listening, you gotta check. Anyone listening, people listening, you gotta check that out. See if you can download it or something like that. Like just whatever, fucking pirate it or buy it. Like Clerks animated series. Look that up.
Who is driving? Oh my god, Bear is driving.
God,
How can that be?
How can that be? That was the best. Fuck.
When they're in the car and like the transformer car and it transforms and they all die inside.
They'll die and all the blood starts like spraying out of it and stuff. Oh, that was great. Fuck. Brilliant. Yeah, they played that on ABC. They had this like giant disclaimer like in the front of it, because like they didn't want to get sued or something like that, so they tried to do it on like twist. But like it's mind blowing that like they actually had that on ABC, like of all the networks, guys. Like I'm sure they were trying to do whatever they could at the time, but like nowadays, like if you try to get that kind of show on something like the Comedy Network or something like that, that would fucking work. But ABC, oh, those guys must have been like the most soulless people to have to interact with, like to try to talk about like getting your show on the air. All the notes they would give you, well, you got to change this about it. And I'm not sure if the people in Louisiana will appreciate the fart joke in this scene. Fuck. See.
That like second episode when they did the clip show. For those who've never seen Clerks, the animated series, it's the kind of show that would do a clip show on the second episode.
Yeah, the second episode is.
And they kept going back to like the first episode. Like, surely other things have happened to us besides last week.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the same scene. Like, why are we walking like this?
Yeah, yeah. Man, that was so brilliant. The way they somehow came up with a way to make their second episode the fucking clip show. Like
and like and it never got old for like the whole 20 minutes. It was like new fast jokes like one after another.
Yeah.
Just based on that clip show premise. And it's brilliant. And they keep like getting stuck in like other places.
Yeah. They keep on walking to the fucking burn ward.
Yeah, like the way that show utilized like reoccurring gags was like something that's like never been perfected as much in any other show.
Totally, like it was so focused and concentrated. Like
fucking like every other scene was like his old girlfriend Caitlin like cheating on him with like the painter.
Yeah,
and it's like I thought it was weird that she invited the painter to my birthday, and then it's like remember that time at the painter's birthday? I thought it was weird that the painter invited us to his birthday.
Yeah.
And like I kept playing that same music every time, like wow.
Oh, that was great.
And then it goes, and then like Jay and Silent Bob have like a completely unrelated flashback of them like stealing a couch, and they just like run past the window with her and two painters, and they
yeah. Oh my god, so fucking brilliant,
Oh god.
Three-way.
And that fucking last episode when they did like the Duck Amuck parody.
Yeah.
With like the Daffy Duck thing where like the old cartoon where it's like he's fucking with the guy who's writing the cartoon. And they
Yeah.
It started off, they were like at a fan convention and they were like, why is Clerks the show nothing like Clerks the movie? So they're like, okay, this episode is gonna take place entirely in the store and we're not gonna leave. And like the whole episode is like all this insane shit is happening just outside the store.
Yeah.
And it just gets more and more fucking bizarre until eventually, like, the whole of reality breaks down and, like, he goes into the Matrix and shit.
Yeah.
And then it just turns into a Looney Tune at the end.
Yeah.
That shit is fucking brilliant.
Yeah. I just love, they're in the store this entire time. Just, like, the craziest shit just keeps on happening outside the store. They never show it. People come in and fucking say something. And they're just living their boring lives because they have to fucking work.
Fucking, like, Jay and Silent Bob, like, bursting in with, like, a bunch of, like, severed arms of like, oh my god, the gorillas broke loose and ate the entire Brazilian soccer team.
Yeah. Oh, that was great. I think they tossed a Caitlyn joke in there somewhere too. Like, because Caitlyn has like an open mouse kissing booth. Yeah. Except it's not a booth anymore and it's free.
Yeah. And it's more than just kissing.
Yeah, it's more than just kissing. Oh, that's great. Poor old Dante.
Those pinhead guys come in from Freaks, and it's like,
yeah.
Do you sell gum?
Yeah.
Gobble.
That was great. Old Freaks.
Oh my god.
I remember listening to the commentary, and they were gonna like one of the episodes they're gonna have next is something about like Dante's car or something like that is like evil and it's like alive or something like that, and like it replaces him at the quick stop, and like everyone just believes it's him, but like Dante's like the only person who's like trying to convince people like that isn't him.
God, what could have been?
Maybe someday, Kevin Smith. Maybe someday you'll get your ass in gear and entertain me more for free.
He's never gonna, because he became a stoner.
Yeah, because he was always a stoner.
No, he talks about that, how, like, never in his life has he seriously been a stoner, but he, like, after, like, Clerks 2, and, like, he started making Zack and Miri, and, like, he, like, just recently became a stoner, and now he does it every day, and now all he wants to do is podcasts, and he never wants to make movies anymore.
Oh, really?
But he does have like 2 movies in the works, so I guess he is still doing shit. He's making Clerks 3, and he's making a horror movie called Tusk, which is about a walrus who, it's about a guy who, like a serial killer who like makes people wear a walrus costume, which sounds like the greatest movie ever.
Yeah, that does sound pretty good. Tusk.
He's underrated. He gets a lot of unjust hate, I think.
Really? I don't know anyone who gives him hate. I thought everybody loved him. I
see a lot of criticism of the guy, like...
Really?
Yeah, because I don't know, because he tells fart jokes and stoner jokes, and he is fat.
Take yourself so fucking seriously that you'd be like, you'd actually think that because you don't like something, that person's like bad at it.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know how people can like honestly hate him, because like not only does he made all these great movies and all this great stuff, but like it seems like from everything I've seen of him, he's such a like warm, open guy to his fans and everything.
Yeah.
And he loves interacting with them. He just seems like a good guy.
Bet he is a cool guy. Bet he's a great guy to smoke weed with.
But he's a great guy to be fat with.
To be fat with.
You can smoke weed with him. I'll just be fat with him.
All right. We both have something then for the imaginary outing of us hanging out with Kevin Smith someday.
Someday.
Maybe we'll go to Chili's.
Chili's?
Yeah. I have really good curly fries, I hear.
Damn it. Okay, we gotta get back on track somehow. We were talking about Super Metroid.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, I wanted to bring this up a while ago.
Okay.
Because we were talking about Super Metroid. And that made me start thinking of the game that basically took Super Metroid's formula and just redid it with a new coat of paint and was also the best game ever. Symphony of the Night on PS1.
Mm-hmm.
You played that, right?
I never like played it. I know the game, but I played all the rest of Castlevania side-scrolling. Yeah, it's one of the ones I never got my hands on.
Yeah, it like did the whole... It like basically took the map, the whole like gameplay mechanics, like lock, stock, and barrel from Super Metroid.
Yeah,
but, like,
exactly. And they did
but
a
it
whole
worked
fucking
perfectly.
twist on it. Yeah, because I played all the Castlevania games like on the DS, and they were all the same style, and those were some of my favorite games like of all time, definitely. All because of like that Super Metroid like gameplay mechanic, like the side-scrolling adventure. It's fucking great. It's fucking great. I wish more games would do it. Yeah.
Guys, you gotta believe us. It's peachy.
It is peachy. Is there a My Little Pony character that's got like Peach in her name or any shit like that?
Not
like Peach ponies.
Not in the show, but probably in like fanfics or like.
Oh god, Peachy Pie or some shit.
Yeah. Fucking the My Little Pony fan community is like a rabbit hole you don't even want to go down.
You know, I think we're gonna have to do a podcast where like I actually finally watch an episode of the show.
Yes, let's do it.
And then talk about my experience afterwards, because like I haven't wanted to watch that show so long.
Be careful, because you might really like it.
That's exactly my point. I was terrified that I might like it, and then I might want to see another episode, and then I might be a guy who watches My Little. Not that I'm disparaging you, Mr. Jesse Wood. I'm just saying that was a boundary. A boundary that I wasn't sure if I was ready to cross or ever wanted to. So.
Sometimes I worry that I'm like going too far with how much I make fun of bronies, because I make fun of bronies so much that I think a lot of people get the impression that I don't even like the show. But obviously I like the show. I wouldn't make so many videos about it.
No kidding. Exactly.
I think it's a fantastic cartoon. I mean, like, for me, it's like not one of these things like how they all talk about like, man, I wasn't expecting this cartoon to be so great. I mean, I'm a crow in bed. I wasn't expecting, that's always the little, that's like the damage control line that they give to people so that no one thinks they're totally freaks.
Right.
Like, no, I wasn't expecting to like a cartoon, but it's like, shut the fuck up. Because, like, I completely expected to like it from the moment I knew that it was a thing, because, like, I like cartoons.
Yeah. And
I'm a grown-ass man, and I drink alcohol, and I have sex with women, and I like cartoons, and I'm not a fucking neckbeard about it. And it's just, it's like they do damage to their own reputation by having to pull this damage control shit. If they would just have the balls to be like, fuck yeah, I like cartoons, bitch.
Yeah.
Then it wouldn't even be like it wouldn't even be the thing. But it's fucking, I like cartoons. I mean, I like old cartoons from my childhood, because they have the nostalgia, and also a lot of them were genuinely, really, very amazingly good and hold up to this day, I think. Like fucking Hey Arnold, for example, Invader Zim. But,
that was a good one, yeah.
And I also think
that one was trippy as fuck, man.
Which one?
Invader Zim.
Invader Zim is such a fantastic show. Yet another show that has a bad reputation based solely on the fan base that kind of ruined it for everyone.
Yeah.
Because Invader Zim got really popular with the Hot Topic crowd and like the scene girls and all that, and like little 13-year-old girls. Before they all got a hold of it, that show had some like really cutting edge satire, especially for like a children's network.
Yeah. I only saw a couple episodes like whacked out of my fucking tree. really high with some friends, and they specifically said, "Oh, dude, like Invader Zim, trust
The
me."
depictions of like the human race on that show are the most accurate depictions of humanity I've ever seen on a show.
Really?
Just like for how disgustingly, sadly, truly accurate they are. Just like these
Really?
fat, slobbering monsters just like lining up at the meat grinder to have like fast food shoved in their gullets and just like screaming with like their lightning bolt tongues at every little like. Like that was my favorite part of the show. Like people like, oh man, people like give it all this credit and like hate for like starting like the random humor trend and like it's fucking. But the best part of the show was like the satire of just the human race in general and how disgusting and stupid we are and how sheep-like. It was a funny show. I like it. I still like it to this day. And I like modern cartoons too. There's a lot of cartoons today that are fantastic and brilliant. Regular show is fucking hilarious. Adventure Time is fucking as good or as brilliant as anything that I watched when I was a kid.
Yeah. I still haven't seen Adventure Time. I'm pretty sure I have to though.
It's a great show, and you know it's kind of sad to be like a child now, because my generation just won't let go, and we won't decide, and we won't let the kids have their fucking cartoons, because we're fucking adults. Like Adventure Time should belong to like the tween-age demographic, but we won't let it. It's ours. And we're not
exactly.
giving it up. We're not, because I think it's just from us being like the first internet generation and like the nostalgia generation. We're not letting go of our childhoods, and I don't think we're ever going to.
I have no plans to.
It's because of sickness.
I could go to Toys R Us tomorrow with $50 and have a great time.
Yeah.
That'd be an awesome day, man.
I could finally complete my My Little Pony set. I only have a Pinkie Pie and Fluttershy. I need the other 4.
Jeez. So if there's like a definitive episode of the show that I should watch, or should I just start out for the first one?
Here's the thing. The show does have like a continuity and an order to it, but I think like the first episode gives like kind of the wrong impression of where the series heads.
Yeah.
Because like the way it was set up in the first episode was like very girly, like it's kind of like a Sailor Moon vibe, like we got to protect the world kind of thing. Right. And that is a part of the series, but it's not.
But the show started out, they were trying to make it for little girls, and then they eventually kind of gave in. They're like, okay.
Yeah, and like the series, what it became is like a lot more of like a slice of life kind of thing.
Yeah.
More often than not. And I mean, like people will disagree on the best episodes because the fan base is like one of the most divisive, infighting fucking fan bases on the face of the planet. If you want my recommendation, Hurricane Fluttershy is the best episode of the series.
Okay.
I'm biased because Fluttershy is my favorite. Fluttershy is my favorite pony, so I'm biased.
Which one is Fluttershy?
Fluttershy is the yellow one.
I got the picture of the fleshlight pussies pulled up, so she's the yellow one? Okay.
Yellow one.
So, okay. I'll keep that in mind. I get it, so she's like shy? Is that what it's about? Okay.
Like, it's not just that she's shy, like the character, like the greatest strength of the series. I'm going into full nerd mode right now, but I don't even care.
Clearly,
the greatest strength of the series is how well characterized and how strongly like developed the characters are.
Yeah.
And like each episode sort of focuses like on a different one, and they all learn their own like lessons and they all have their own flaws and strengths and stuff.
Right.
And like it has very sincere and very realistic depictions of social anxiety and shyness and other like.
Really?
Yeah, it's
God damn it, that actually sounds kind of interesting.
It's a really well written show most of the time. Not all the time, but most of the time. And like there's one episode, I'm fucking sorry for everyone who's listening to me gush about this shit. Because I know all I ever do is complain about this shit and complain about bronies, and now here I am fucking gushing about it and just showing my power level completely. But fuck it.
But fuck it indeed.
But fuck it. I mean, like, yeah, like all the characters have like these like flaws that like make them like more 3-dimensional. Like Applejack is like really honest and really like loyal, but she's also like really proud and stubborn. And Jesus fuck, I'm like listening to myself, but it's like I don't know, like some of the episodes are really well written and really paint a good depiction of these like personality flaws that a lot of people have, and that's why a lot of people relate to these characters and relate to the show and are able to put themselves in it. Like, there's this one episode that, like, a lot of the bronies hate because bronies are idiots and bronies don't understand how character development works and how, like, because the thing about bronies, you know, it's a colorful show.
Yeah.
And it's a show with simple, moral, sincere messages, and that inevitably is going to attract people who are legitimately, not saying this to be mean, legitimately autistic. It's just they're going to be, so it seems like a mean thing to say, like I'm just generalizing bronies, but the brony fan base does have a very high level of really kind of not developmentally sound autistic fucking people in it.
That makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense, man. Yeah. Huh.
And
interesting.
So there's this one episode that everyone hates because a lot of these people are kind of not all there emotionally, developmentally, and they can't really. They don't really have the cognitive ability to empathize with people who aren't like them, who don't. It's like everyone has their favorite pony, and they're like, this is my favorite pony because I relate to her, but this one I don't relate to, so she's the worst character ever. They don't have that ability to empathize with. Well, there's this one episode called The Mysterious Mare-do-Well, where like
Mysterious Mare-do-Well.
Yeah, where, like, Rainbow Dash did there. Where Rainbow Dash becomes like a superhero, and she's kind of bitchy and kind of like. She's a very like proud, arrogant character, and she's my view of her has always been that she's a narcissist and she needs attention, and the episode kind of builds on that and shows that, and the bronies just can't fucking handle that kind of subtle character development. So to them, she's just a cunt, and it's the worst episode ever. But I think it's a very underrated episode, and I think it paints a very good picture of a person with narcissistic tendencies that I can certainly relate to, because there's a scene where she's on a cloud and everyone in the town's mad at her, and she's just sitting there being sad, and she's like, fuck them. I don't need them. I'm fine on my own, but I hate being alone. And it's this really sad scene. And it's this really accurate depiction of like a person who needs that approval from people. And bronies can't sympathize with people who don't fit their specific social disease. So they hate it. But that's a good episode. And Hurricane Fluttershy has a good episode. That's my favorite episode. If you want an episode that showcases all the cast, the entire cast to the best of their abilities, and really shows them all, you got to go with the season 1 finale, The Best Night Ever. That's probably the best episode in terms of having all 6 of the main characters each have their moment in the spotlight and each being developed and each having their own story. And it really works well, especially within 20 minutes. It's quite an achievement to have 6 different characters with 6 different arcs being together that good. And I'm a faggot.
I was, well, no, it's I've just been staring at the fucking fleshlight thing this entire time, like the line, and like staring at these characters with these fucking silicone vaginas that you can buy for them apparently. No, but staring at these characters and trying to trying to envision some of the interactions that you're saying there, and like it does sound like it's probably like a really good show, at least like a really well made show.
Yeah, it's definitely well made, and I hate to be one of those people that pushes it onto my friends. But if you want to check it out, definitely check it out, man. Yeah, we'll do a podcast about it. We'll talk about your experiences. You'll probably watch a couple episodes and end up watching the whole series because that's what happens to everybody.
I'll watch that. Okay, I'll say this. I'll watch that episode that you said was your favorite, and that's probably gonna be it. I was about to say that's it, but I hope that's gonna be it.
Well, if it is it, then you're a stronger man than I.
Then we'll talk about that on the next cast, I guess. So.
It's very alluring. It's like the dark side. You have to have a very strong will to resist the temptation to just go full brony and fall down the rabbit hole.
Christ, man. I'm definitely not ready. Definitely not ready. I'm gonna have to be really fucking drunk for it.
Next thing you know, you'll be devoting all of your free time to making pony videos. You'll gain this horrible brony following, and you'll end up a broken man like me.
That sounds wonderful. Well, I have my weekend planned. Fucking My Little Pony. I gotta take a whiz, so... Let's do that again. Peeing time.
Well, Digibrony, I know you're fucking listening. I finally did it. I finally revealed my power level, so I hope you're happy. I finally revealed myself as one of you. You bunch of freaks. I do want to just, like, one of these days go to BronyCon or one of the big conventions, because I know they have, like, parties and raves and they all get drunk and probably drop acid. I would like to go to one of those BronyCons and, like, go to the rave and fuck a bunch of autistic girls who are into that shit.
Oh my god.
I mean, if we're being completely honest, that's the reason I got into the show in the first place.
I see. Probably a pretty interesting gene pool down there at the old BronyCon.
What do you think is worse, having sex with a girl who's like 1 year underage, or having sex with a girl who's legal but severely autistic?
Oh, that's a tough call.
It is tough. That's like a conundrum right there. I guess the only way to know for sure is to do both.
And see which one feels worse. Well,
No one knows for sure, but I intend to find out.
Jesus. Just wait to see which one makes you feel like more ashamed of yourself. Turns out it was a 15-year-old. Who would have guessed?
I just want to fuck Tara Strong, man. I want to go to the conventions. I want to meet Tara Strong, and I want to woo her because
Who is that?
Tara Strong is the voice actress who does the voice for Twilight Sparkle in the show.
Oh, fucking Christ.
No. She's a very prolific voice actress. She did the voice of Raven, who was the very first cartoon character that I ever fell in love with. Like a complete loser. But hey, I was 14 at the time, so it's totally okay. But, so even from years ago, I had this, like, crush on her just based on this one performance that she gave. But she's been in so much shit. She's very prolific in her field. But the thing about Tara Strong, and this is stuff that I've learned from her actions that I've been paying attention to for the last couple of years, as well as stuff that I've inferred from my own little one semester of community college psychology that I've analyzed from her behavior. She's very prolific in her field of voice acting, but voice actors are not well known or respected. But suddenly, this My Little Pony thing blows up. Suddenly, everybody's paying attention to the voice actors, and they're getting treated like real celebrities. So Tara Strong is getting treated like a real celebrity for the first time in her life. And she's not old. She's 40, maybe 39 or some shit.
She attractive?
And she's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah? Oh, yeah.
And she's like, yeah, I like this attention. So she has just fully embraced the community.
Yeah.
And almost, I'd be tempted to say almost a whorish way, but I would never say that because she's my waifu and I'm in love with her, and she's a classy lady. But yeah, she'll post pictures on Twitter of, like, her tits and everything. Not her tits, but, like, yeah, tits. Like, not her exposed tits. Like, yeah, check out my fucking... She loves the attention. And
Tara
she'll, like...
Strong?
Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
And,
she is fucking hot.
Yeah,
Jeez.
and she'll post
Holy
stuff like...
shit.
Oh, husband and kids are out. Any bronies want to come over? just teasing them because she knows that they're all insane.
Yeah,
just milking it for all it's worth.
That's funny.
Because she's one of the best in her field, and she's never had this attention before, and I think she's really enjoying it.
Yeah,
and I like that.
Course,
like,
yeah. Oh, that's
and I always thought that if I could meet her, because I'm so normal compared to other bronies, I could probably woo her. I'm probably...
You'd probably stand a shot. Well, she got a husband and kids, no, but like you'd probably stand a shot.
Because that's basically my whole method. Is I stand there and I hang out with people more beta than myself. And if I go, and if I ever found myself at BronyCon, I just know I'd be the motherfucking Don Delanucci kingpin.
Yeah.
Fucking
that's
the
like
most
that Family Guy joke where like somebody like hires this ugly girl to follow Meg around, so like she looks like a little hotter like in comparison.
Yeah, that's why I love my bronies.
Yeah, that's funny. I've been in situations like that in my life though, where it's like I feel like a fucking genius because of like the people I'm hanging around with.
I gotta get myself to BronyCon next year just to like, because it just sounds like a lot of fun.
I would go to BronyCon without ever even seeing a single episode of the fucking show. I would go there for the goddamn spectacle. Where is it? Where is it?
I don't know. Last year it was in Baltimore.
Baltimore, fuck. I can't travel to the States for like a little bit still.
That's right.
Yeah. So
you're a wanted
I'm
felon.
sure the come on, is anyone really that surprised? I'm sure that they're gonna keep on having BronyCons for years to come, probably years after the show even goes off the air. So
yeah, they still have gargoyles conventions.
That sounds about right. Yeah, I don't know, man. I could dig going to one of those just for like the spectacle. I don't think if I got into watching the show, I don't think I would ever go to a convention. That'd be like different.
That's just like stacking it. It's too much.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's like
going to the convention and I'm a fan. It's just too much.
Yeah, I would have a hard time like looking myself in the mirror, I think. So, oh god, I bet you meet some pretty interesting people at one of those too.
Yeah. I've certainly met some pretty interesting people just for making the videos that I've made.
Yeah.
I know one guy who's a very popular amongst that crowd, YouTuber, and he said that he wants me to go there next year and get on a panel with him, which sounds like the most fun ever.
Wow, that actually probably would be really fun. That might be a complete train wreck, and that would be like half the fun.
Yeah, which would be even better. Yeah. And no matter what happens, I know it would be filmed and put on YouTube, which just makes me want to do it even more. Because I could fucking show up like drunk with like a plate of spaghetti, and just like insult everybody next to me.
Yeah, wait, drunk on a plate of spaghetti. I missed that for a second because it was such an obscure prop to have.
Yeah.
Why did you have a plate of spaghetti?
Well, here's my plan, because the whole brony community has like their inside jokes. You know, every little sub community has their little memes and stuff.
Yeah.
And like, spaghetti is just like one of those like 4chan terms for like. It comes from like a story about this guy who went into GameStop and like asked the girl out, and like he had spaghetti in his pockets from like his mom's leftovers, and they started spilling out of his pockets. So like spilling your spaghetti just means that like you're revealing yourself as a complete nerd loser.
I see.
And like the brony community just like ran with that. Like they're all fucking spaghettis.
Oh my god.
So I just want to go there with like a plate of spaghetti and just like be silently eating spaghetti while I say everything and not even mention it.
That's actually kind of brilliant. I see what you're saying now. Yeah. Okay. So the spaghetti did have an actor. That wasn't just a random prop.
Yeah. It's just like, it means, hey, I'm autistic, you're autistic, I know we're all freaks, let's enjoy ourselves and eat some spaghetti together.
It's fascinating to me that there's like this entire like subculture of people who are like celebrating their awkwardness. Like,
yeah.
Like spaghettis, like, and all those people band together and they're just like, well, yeah, like, we're just horrible life. So
I don't know if they call themselves spaghettis. I made up that term.
Okay.
But I'm hoping it takes off now.
Yeah, definitely.
Any bronies listening to this, let's make spaghettis a thing.
I'll do my very best to try to make spaghettis a thing. I'll try to watch one episode of the show. Begrudgingly. It's going to take a lot of drugs.
Begrudgingly. I love the show, and I still watch it begrudgingly. I just know that every episode I watch takes me further down that path.
Yeah. It's like, fuck. Enjoy this. Yeah, I'm just looking through a lot of pictures of this that Tara Strong voice actor chick, and she is, yeah. Damn.
Oh, I love her.
Yeah. How come she's not like a real actor?
She's been in a few live action things.
Yeah.
When she was younger.
Certainly got the look for it.
But not as many. She's like so prolific as a voice actor. She's been in like literally everything though.
And I bet she's like the most popular person in like the fucking world in like the brony universe. Like, I bet, like,
yeah, because she's so willing to milk it.
Yeah, I bet at a convention they actually like build like a fucking throne out of like
a lot of the other voice actors, you can kind of tell are a little bit creeped out when these people come up to them.
Yeah.
but not Tara, man. She knows.
Yeah, she knows. She's queen of this unshowered.
Queen of the Aspies.
Yes, the Aspies. Queen of the Aspies. Oh my god. That's terrible.
Oh my god. You know what?
Queen of the Aspies. I'm picturing like comic book covers and everything. Queen of the Aspies series.
Because you know what's weird? Because it's like I've had a crush on this person my whole life, pretty much. Because like even before My Little Pony took off, like I was like a huge Teen Titans fan. Like I watched that show religiously, and I was so into like the whole kit and caboodle.
Yeah.
Like whenever I think about it, like to me, as popular as she is now for Twilight Sparkle, my Tara will always take me back to this one like little mini season arc that they did with over like a couple episodes in like season 4 of Teen Titans.
Yeah.
When like Raven's like evil demon dad was coming to town and fucking shit up, and like she was prophesized to destroy the world, and she was going through all this shit, and like there was a scene where like this bad guy like grabs her by the shoulders, and like her hair like grows all out, and she like her clothes rip, and she's got these like tattoo symbols all over her body.
Damn.
And that image is just burned into my mind for the rest of my life when I'm fat every time.
Raven was pretty fucking sexy, I gotta say. See, I started watching Teen Titans where I was at an age where I couldn't really let anyone know because it'd be a little bit creepy for how much I like some of the characters. So I might as well say that now because apparently I don't fucking give a shit anymore. But yeah, fucking Raven. I saw a great. I mean, you've probably seen it too. That they had like a 4 or 5 minute like porn of like the Teen Titans characters. Yeah, animated.
And
like perfect,
and the episode that I was talking about, all the audio from that episode is what was taken to make that flash.
Oh, really?
Well, that just makes the problem even worse. Makes my psychosis and my perversion that much worse.
That was hot anime porn though. Like
that is so hot. I can't tell you how many times. Woo!
Yeah, man. That was like I don't know something about it, man. Like I don't watch like cartoon porn really, but like I saw that and I was like, fuck, I gotta watch Teen Titans again. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
She also did the voice for that like lollipop chainsaw thing.
Yeah, that was a good game too. I never got around to beating it because I only rented it, but I wanted to, and I still want to because the guy who made it is one of my favorite like game developers. Like one of The guy who made it, Suda51, he made No More Heroes, and he made Shadow of the Damned, which is another like really underrated game. Yeah. And he's like one of the I picture him as like one of the last cowboys of like video game design.
That is a brilliant idea for a game too. Like I haven't even played it. I don't even know if it's a good game, but like the whole character and premise, that's fucking genius. People are gonna
Lollipop Chainsaw?
Yeah, Lollipop Chainsaw. People are gonna play as that constantly. And
yep, and that guy, like the way he makes his games, like he's like inspiration. Like he's one of like the best guys around who's still making games. He so does not give a shit about like what's PC or what's like okay. Like he's like the Quentin Tarantino of game design. He does exactly what he wants, and he's only out to entertain himself, and he doesn't give a shit what anyone else thinks of it. And I love that so much. And his games are so much more like they have so much more artistic merit because of that, and they resonate with me so much just because I guess I'm in the same wavelength as that guy. But like his games are like phenomenal, especially in terms of like just the style and the presentation of them.
Yeah. Huh.
He's a good man. He is. I still haven't played his new one because I'm poor.
What is the new one?
He's got a new game called Killer is Dead. Yeah. And I don't even know what it's about because like a lot of times his games are like so out there that you can't even infer from the trailers what they're about until you like actually play them yourself.
Really?
And I really want to get my hands on it and play it because it's like, from what I've heard about it, it's like you're like a gigolo with like a robot arm and a katana, and you fucking.
Wow, it sounds great.
Like that's the kind of shit that this guy like comes up with, and I just love the dude so much. I wish I could suck his tiny Japanese dick.
His tiny little Asian pecker. Oh God.
We apologize to all Asian American people.
Yes, we apologize for the fact that you're Asian. I'm not actually that kind of a person, guys. I swear, I'm not that kind of a person. I'm just drunk, and I fancy myself a comedian, and that somehow allows me to say whatever I want, apparently, with no filters or borders or restrictions.
It's a great power.
As long as it, as long
all you
as
gotta do is say I'm a comedian.
Funny. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's why Mel Gibson, if he would have just ended that rant with like, seriously, guys, I'm a comedian.
Yeah,
it would have been nobody. Yeah, it would have been the greatest thing ever. Been legendary.
You know, you really need to start sucking my dick, or else I hope you get raped by a pack of 50 niggers. But hey, I'm just a comedian.
Yeah, exactly. It is a wonderful power.
I love Mel Gibson. I don't give a shit. Thank God that some people in Hollywood are standing up to the Jews. Thank God.
Oh, that's so fucking true.
Okay, I'm Team Mel all the way. Whenever someone stands up to the Jews, I know I'm supposed to hate him for it, but I don't. I fucking rah shish kebab. You go at him. I'd be the first. I'm fucking with my megaphone. You can do it. Don't let them take you down. Hang in there, Mel. Hang in there.
Hang in there, Mel. Jesus Christ. That is so wrong. That's politically incorrect, Jesse. What you said there. We're gonna have to
politically correct.
We're gonna have to send out
spiritually very correct.
But spiritually very correct.
In a purely human, soulful Jiminy Cricket conscience way, it's completely the right thing to do and say.
Oh God. Now let's be clear here. There's a difference between. No, I'm not gonna launch into a big rant tangent like that. That'll get me down to some crazy discussion that won't even be entertaining at all.
Can you imagine Jiminy Cricket like trying to teach Pinocchio the dangers of Jews?
No, I can't imagine that.
If you ever see a Jew, just give a little whistle.
Oh my God. Oh, that is so fucking wrong.
I got no Jews to hold me down.
Oh God.
There ain't no kikes on me.
Well, it's a bits and booze party, yes.
Can't stop, and I won't stop, and I don't even know how to stop.
You know what would be interesting to me is like if we actually got somebody like who was a Jewish person who actually took like legit offense to this and had something to say about it and like left something in like comments or something like that. I'd be excited to talk to that person.
You know what? I don't think it is because I think it's just like the rich Zionist Jews, the rich
Those ones I'm talking about, yeah.
Because the average Jew knows to hate himself for what he is and what his genetics carry, the curse that his genetics carry, the curse of his lineage. Most down to earth Jews on our level of like the financial social bracket, they know what they are.
That's pretty much true. My buddy Dustin, my buddy Dustin's like complete Jewish kid, got like the curly hair, like you'd peg him for a Jewish kid. And you know what his skin is from Minecraft? Fucking Hitler. He said he got banned from so many servers for showing up in the Hitler skin. And when he played on my Minecraft server, the first building he built was a fucking bank. Oh man, like emeralds and gold and shit like that. Oh, I fucking love that kid so much. That was great.
Oh god.
Didn't I mention him on the last podcast? Did I say something about Dustin come out to Calgary or something?
I think you did.
Fuck. Oh, see, that's okay. Here's what I'm doing here is because like you can say horrible things, and you can say stereotypical and racist things, but as long as you have that one friend, that makes it okay. So like. As long like if I say like God hates fags, but if I can say that, but I can say well actually I'm friends with this one gay person, so it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, I can make fun of black people because I know one black chick and she's like the hottest chick I know. I'm totally in love with her.
There you go.
So I'm allowed to.
Man,
if you listen to this, now you know.
Yeah. I was just picturing that Westboro Baptist Church sign when I was like saying like God hates fags. Like what is up with those fucking people? Like how is that a thing? Like how is there like this little sect cult of people like this like hate cult? Like where did that come from? Like just that one guy who's like he's such a like repressed homosexual that like that's what he did. Like I've never seen anyone repress their homosexuality that much ever to like start like an entire cult around it. And
that reminds me of like a Bill Burr.
That has to be what it is. That's the only way like that Westboro Baptist Church. That's the only thing I can think of to come up with how they started. It's like Fred Phelps is completely in the closet. Like it makes sense. Like when you think about it makes legit sense, and that's what I honestly think it is. So that's actually kind of sad now that I think about it.
I don't know. It reminds me of like a Bill Burr joke, like, and I'm gonna completely butcher it, but like he was talking about like how did Hitler ever rise to power, being as crazy as he was, even though you and I know that he was completely in the right, but
he was completely in the right.
Hey!
Oh,
hoo-ah!
It's a Moose Podcast.
Wah, wah, wah. He was telling this joke like, how did these crazy people ever rise to power? But then like he was standing in a Walmart and he heard some guy just like ranting and raving about some crazy shit. But like there's just some guy in the back listening like, yeah, this guy's making a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And then he follows him out to the parking lot and now there's two of them.
Yeah.
And that's how it starts.
Oh god, that's how it starts. Fuck. Human beings are like this horrible disease sometimes. Joe Rogan had this really interesting perception of humans where he's like, if you zoom out into space and you look at the Earth and you look like a time lapse, you'd see like everything like just like nature and just everything like flourishing and stuff like that. And then humans come along and slowly everything like starts dying. We start spreading across it, like consuming, like digging up and cutting down trees and like eating this planet like some sort of like crazy bacteria. And that's like on some sort of galactic scale. I guess that's pretty.
I'm really more and more believing that human beings came from Mars, and that's why Mars is in the shape it's in now.
That's brilliant.
Like it fucking we were born on Mars, maybe 1 million years ago. Born on Mars, destroyed everything, destroyed ourselves, and the only part of us that survived is like a microscopic amoeba on a comet that killed the dinosaurs, and we grew from there. And now we're going to take over this planet too, and that's the cycle that's going to go throughout the entire solar system and the entire galaxy eventually. I think there's still people all sentient life
underneath the surface, though.
What, like Morlocks?
No, like I don't know, some like people probably that look just like us, but they live underneath the surface. It's a different kind of planet, right? Because Earth, I think we have like nature and all that kind of shit. Like, what would it be like if you lived completely underground? Like, could you live completely underground? We couldn't imagine that world, but that's what I think Mars is all about. I think there's like people.
I think there's a good chance that like black people are like the native Earthicans.
Yeah.
And like only white people are from space.
And only white people are from space.
I don't know. It makes sense. I mean, they say Africa's like the cradle, and that's like where the first people came from. So probably Africans are like the only actual Earthlings.
The only actual Earthlings. No, I mean the pigment of the skin thing is just because like as you move farther north, like your skin doesn't need to like be like as dark to like fend off the sun's rays and shit like that. So
like you always get racists, like the really like hardcore racists saying black people really do like look more like apes. Well, maybe that's because they're the only ones who evolved from apes, and we came from fucking space.
We came from space, eh?
Maybe we're in the wrong. Maybe we're probably like evolved from like some like 3-toed Martian moon slug or some shit.
That's so reminds me of something about Futurama. Picturing the Slurm episode, I think. I'm sorry. My brain is misfiring like crazy. There's a fucking overload of like black people are the original humans and like humans came from space.
I don't know. I think half black people, like half black girls, are like so hot. I'm just saying that as damage control because what I just said earlier was so racist sounding even to me.
I'm not even sure if it was racist sounding. Like I don't even like maybe it was. I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, I was more making fun of white people.
I didn't even understand that we were making fun of anybody yet. So I missed that bandwagon.
I fucking love black people. I mean, like.
I just love people, and I also hate people. I love and hate people.
Well, here's the thing. I hate niggers, but I truly believe that niggers come in all colors.
So you're using the racial slur to like identify basically some sort of like negative behavior pattern.
Yeah, well, like when I was in high school, my sisters were into this crowd with all these fucking party fucking doper kids and fucking alcoholic piece of shit who would hang out and just be fucking piece of shit all day in her room. And I already said in the last podcast I was like so anti that. And to me, the way I thought of those kids was always, and the word I used, they were the niggers.
They're the niggers.
I lived in a small town. We didn't have actual black people.
Yeah.
But we had niggers. We had niggers. And to this day, I use nigger to describe white people all the time.
I know.
And people don't get it.
Yeah. No, I completely get it. The only issue is that a lot of people don't. So
yeah, it's like I say
completely hung up on that word. So
I say nigger like only 10% of the time am I even referring to a black person. Because I'm Irish.
Yeah.
A black person. We don't have black people over here in Ireland.
Wasn't it? Was it Louie C.K. Who had that routine about like?
Yes, about
about the guy making this coffee. He's like just like a perfectly like some young like white kid with dread or something like that. He was like super excited about his job. He's like, yeah, can I get a coffee? He's like, yeah, sure, man. Yeah, I'll get you a coffee. And he's like whipping everything around, tamping everything down, and just makes this amazing coffee. And in the end, like the first thought that went through his mind was like, oh my God, that nigger made the fuck out of this coffee.
Like, as much as I was ragging on Louie C.K. the other day with you because we were talking, and I was going on like a rant about like Louie C.K. and just kind of ragging on him because I have mixed feelings on the man that I kind of don't feel like getting into. But like that being said, like those early bits of his that made him famous, he so deserved to get where he is from those bits.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because they're going to go down as classics forever.
Yeah. He'll be remembered for those definitely, and rightly so.
Like even if he like continues to degrade, as in my eyes I feel he is, and gets worse and worse and more coddled by the media who thinks he's the greatest thing since sliced bread and his comedy suffers for it. Even if I think like every special he does is a little bit not as funny as the last one, just based on the strength of those early ones, he's still one of the best ever.
Yeah, he definitely is. Sorry, I was like just got like caught in a daydream for a second.
Yeah.
I do that frequently. I'll submit to you this, that like anyone listening who thinks that like we'd have like a legitimate problem with any sort of demographic, like you don't really have, like I can't really defend myself and say no, I don't, or yes, I do. I would say just like talk to the people who know me, like go on Facebook or like talk to people who know me and be like, do you think that Johnny is actually this kind of person? If I am, I guess that like they'll probably say I am, you know, I can say, okay, the point I'm getting at is that I can say I'm not as much as I want, but I'm saying the proof will be in the pudding if you actually like fucking talk to people who fucking know me, 'cause I'm a decent person to everybody I meet, so I sure try to be nowadays anyways. I sure fucking did in the past. I was a fucking horrible cunt, horrible angry grinchy little fucking cunt of a man. Grinchy, yes.
A horrible cunting little person.
Cunting, definitely a cunting person. Cunting. What is with the word cunt too? Because like a lot of people like that's like kind of like a taboo swear word. Have you ever like met somebody where it's like they'll say, "Ooh,
that just blows my mind."
They won't say like cunt.
That's just a symptom of feminism taking over our culture and holding it hostage.
I mean, yeah, I think probably it is. Like I don't really understand. I'm like, what? So we have swears, but there's like still one swear that's like kind of off limits for people. Cunt, like really?
Fuck that. Everything and everyone is a cunt to me.
Yeah, exactly. This entire world is a giant cunt.
God, when I'm like driving in traffic, you'd be amazed. Just cunts as far as the eye can see.
I know.
Every person on the road is a cunt.
Yep. The car is a fucking cunt.
Cars are cunting devices.
Cars are fucking cunts, man. Fuck, owning a car, man. Oh my god, owning a fucking car. I haven't owned a car for so many years, guys, and I miss driving, but I don't miss owning a car because it's just a fucking money pit. It's a goddamn fucking money pit. Stuff fucking breaks. You don't know what's going wrong, and you gotta fucking take it to some dealership and shit like that, and like driving around, some lights up on your goddamn dashboard, and like some of the steering feels like weird or some shit like that. Like you don't know what the fuck's going on. Maybe fucking hamster wheels on the fucking hood. Nobody knows. Wait, weren't you saying like how like nobody knows how a car works? And I think I was saying like no, like people know how a car works. And I was explaining to you, I'm like, well no, like I understand how a car works. It's like a duality though, right? Like I understand how a car works, but at the same time, I have no fucking idea like how a car works. Like how does somebody think? What brilliant person out there like thought of like how to put all these parts together like perfectly in the internal combustion engine? Like that's fucked. Like I couldn't do that. I would never have thought of that. That's completely beyond me.
Yeah, I did like a whole video about that. Saying,
yeah, you did, yeah.
Fucking faggoty ass cars. I just want to piss in every gas tank I see, but I don't have enough piss in my body to do what I need to do. What needs to be done in this world.
Do what needs to be done to do the right thing. Piss in every gas tank you come across.
all responsible, God-fearing American citizens should go piss in their gas tanks right now.
I agree. And a couple of Canada, you should also piss in people's gas tanks.
Yeah, God-fearing Americans from every country.
You know what we got going on in Calgary here? And it's like it's kind of cool, but it's kind of like fucking faggoty. It's like these little smart car things where it's like you can pay like a membership or something. I don't quite understand how it works, but it's like you see these little smart cars just randomly parked around town and people drive them. I guess you can sign up for this like membership thing where you pay like $100 a month and you get like some kind of key. And I feel like you see one of those just like parked and like it doesn't have some sort of occupied thing like somebody else was using it. You can just like hop in and just like drive it and just like use that to like get around the city. And I think that's a really cool idea, but it's also a horrible idea because smart cars are like one of the most embarrassing things like any person with a penis could ever be caught dead in. Like, you've seen smart cars, right? Why?
Yeah.
Why they purposely made them look like that? So
why can't they just make them look like a real car?
Yeah, and that's what they've always done with like these like electronic cars or like these super like fuel efficient cars and shit like that. And the only one to finally stay, and I've been saying this for years, if you're gonna make like an electric car or something like that, you make it fucking badass. You make it like a sports car, and then people will actually want to buy it. And then Tesla Motors comes out, and sure enough, they make this awesome like sports car, and sure enough, now it's like this giant threat. And I've been saying all along, they make the fuel efficient electric cars, all that shit, look stupid on purpose. Like I truly hope that everybody recognizes that they've made these cars look stupid on purpose. These companies who control everything, like that, like GM and various oil companies and whatnot, they know, they fucking know. They want to keep their stranglehold, but they also want to look good in the public eye. So okay, well yeah, we're making these efficient cars. But only certain people are gonna like the fucking Prius. Like really? Like would you drive a Prius? I wouldn't. But if you took the exact same,
I would if you gave one to me.
Okay, well yeah, if you gave one to me, sure. But but if you took the exact same mechanics of a Prius and just put a different shell, just a different shell around the outside that made it look like a regular car, of course I'd drive one. Why wouldn't I? But they make these things look douchey on purpose, and that's why Tesla Motors, man. There's this. One of the Tesla sports cars, somebody from like the New York Times did this article like about the road test for it, and basically said like, oh, like this thing's a piece of shit, like it's like it gets like horrible fuel economy, it gets like horrible economy for like its charge, it doesn't go nearly as far, basically ripping on this thing, and like enough people in the community recognized that as a complete fraud, and this is somebody writing for the New York Times who basically fraudulently like fudged these numbers for this electric car. I guess what they discerned that he did, it's like they drove around a parking lot in circles for like an hour, and then they went out on the drive, so it wouldn't last as long. So like clearly this guy is being paid off by somebody somewhere to basically say this electric car that looks badass is a piece of shit. Like that's obviously what's going on. Like that's fucking crazy, man. Like that's evil shit right there. That's fucking evil shit. Not wanting the human race to advance to like more clean burning like methods of transportation and energy, not wanting us to be like better for the environment and more efficient, and still like having like badass cars that can like rev like 25,000 RPMs the second you fucking touch your foot to the fucking ground. Like, fuck, man, those you motherfuckers out there, fucking evil fucks, you'll get what's coming to you. You'll fucking get what's coming.
You'll get what's fucking coming to you, goddamn motherfucker.
It's coming to them too. They fucking will.
Yeah, that's why I think we need more terrorists in this country, in this world.
Definitely.
We really do. I'm so in the corner of terrorists.
And now that we've summoned the NSA, we might as well also say like bomb, school, I don't know, what like Planned Parenthood. I'm just throwing out terms here that I think the government would really like to pay attention to, because clearly we're both violent people, and we're trying to incite riots quite frequently. I am, anyways. I store a lot of gasoline, like those those milk carton jugs. If you rinse those out, great for storing gasoline, and in a pinch, toss a rag in the top, giant fucking Molotov cocktail. Try that at home, kids. Try it at home.
Those fucking people listening to my goddamn calls, you know what? It's not only scary and it's not only infuriating, but it's fucking depressing.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, like...
It's like that's what we're doing on this planet. That's what humans are. Like, there's like the group of people who are so desperate and greedy to control everything. They want to solidify it into some sort of world vision, some sort of new world order to toss out the colloquialism. Yeah. I don't even know what
I remember earlier this year, even in the summer, being on the phone with a friend of mine and like being like really depressed and really like just like confiding in a friend, how you do. And I was like, crying and saying all this embarrassing fucking shit, the kind of shit you say only to like a fucking friend, right?
Yep.
And then I hung up and then I lay in my bed that night and I get even more depressed thinking that some fucking guy sitting in some fucking cubicle somewhere, probably with his pants around his ankles, was listening to that whole fucking thing, jerking off and skeeting in a plastic cup to my fucking my sob story. It makes me fucking infuriated. They probably had a big fucking potluck. The whole office was gathered around listening to that shit. Like the fucking Super Bowl in the office, like fucking Cabin in the Woods. Like, look at this fucking faggot, he's fucking crying. Fucking pisses me off. That's why I want this country to fucking burn.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, okay, clearly there's nobody, like, they don't have enough people to sit and just, like, listen to everything that we're doing. But, like, everything's recorded. And, like, everything is fucking recorded. And I remember, okay, I gotta get on my high horse, get on my soapbox, just for a moment. I don't do it very often. I'm usually a very humble person. But, like, 7 fucking years ago, I would talk to people about something called Project Echelon, which is designed to, like, record every electronic communication on the planet. And I don't know if that's, like, still a thing. It probably is. Or if that's, like, what the NSA did, or if that's, like, an offshoot or what. But, like, everybody, like, laughed about that. Like, and now, just one guy comes out and it's like, oh, yeah, NSA is just recording every single fucking thing we do forever. And now everyone's like, oh, my God, like, God damn it, guys. Fuck, see, I was right. Johnny was right, because he actually really pays very, very close attention to what's going on in the world. He does his fucking best.
You know what I've realized? There's no like, dystopian future that you can imagine that won't come true eventually.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fuck. I mean, shit. I mean, if you read like Brave New World or Fahrenheit 451 or 1984, all of that shit is completely how we're living today.
Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah. It's frightening. I don't really know how it's gonna end either. Like it's gonna be like the world is gonna get fucked. Like fucked. Like we think we can imagine how fucked this place is gonna get. It's gonna get fucked. Crazy fucked. Crazy fucked. And then maybe some will like actually turn good. Like maybe we'll actually get something good out of it.
I don't know how long it's gonna take, but I hope I'm alive when shit starts crumbling.
Well, I mean, I'd certainly.
I hope I live to see the wasteland. I hope I live to see Thunderdome.
You hope you live to see Thunderdome. Would you really want to live in that world?
God, yes.
Yeah.
That's all I think about.
That's all you do.
I want to fucking be in charge of a Dothraki horde, riding my horse across the plains, pillaging and raping as I see fit, taking what is rightfully mine as a true red-blooded animal alpha male on this fucking beautiful earth that we crash landed on 1 million years ago from Mars. I want that life. I want it all to crumble. I want nature.
That does sound rather beautiful, actually. That's quite.
It does sound beautiful.
Yeah, that's quite poetic. It's very, very raw and visceral.
Everybody in the world would be happier in a world with Dothraki hordes running around pillaging and raping. You like to think, well, what about the people being raped? Bullshit. If you, as long as you're not indoctrinated to the feminist bullshit, you know as well as everyone knows deep down that women were happier when they got raped and taken as wives by fucking barbarians.
Oh, definitely.
They were.
Yeah, definitely. That was a life.
Because they weren't forcing themselves to live a lie and forgo their maternal instincts. It's the truth.
It's the
It sounds extreme and it sounds crazy, but it's totally the truth. Okay, I'm spending too much time on the red pill.
God. Is that
No,
a website?
fuck it.
Is that a
Yeah,
website?
it's a subreddit of women haters.
Oh Christ, man. You gotta don't just
I would no, I'm being too hard on them. I wouldn't call them women haters.
I'm all for the anti-feminist bullshit because it's easy fucking pickings because it's complete horse shit. But there's like a whole different like subsection of like people who like claim to be, anti something that's bad, but they truly they fucking
I think it's one of those things. I think
they're depressed and they hate the world, and that's what
I think the cause is righteous. The cause is righteous, but it's easy to lose your humanity if you get too into any cause.
Of course, yeah. But it's just like a lot of the whole like men's right movement, like a lot of those people are saying like good things, like things that are completely true, and a lot of them just like completely hate themselves because they have like had no success with women and they're not confident in themselves. They don't know how to like dress or like act and things like that. And so instead of like looking inwardly how like they can improve or like change or like better themselves to like get the things they want, they basically blame everything in the world around them, like basically women for being these horrible evil creatures who will they never sleep with them and never give them attention, and they're all fucked up and whatnot. And that's exactly what feminists do, like the hardcore feminists who basically blame all the world's evils like on the existence of men.
Yeah. And that's why I do feel like I was a little too hard on the red pill just now, because it's not really for woman haters. It's more about guys. It's a place of guys understanding female biology and trying to better themselves.
Yeah, and that's
to work around it and take the power back.
As long as you do that with like a loving attitude, and that sounds so fucking cheesy, but like if you can remove hate, it's completely good and healthy to examine like horrible things, like horribly true things about the opposite gender to understand them. But like if you let yourself like be consumed by it and just like start like actually like fucking like hating women for what they are, that's a fucking dark path to take. It's far better.
I still like women when they pay attention to me.
Yeah, we certainly all do. Oh yes, that's fun. That's a lot of fun, isn't it? Is there anything?
What the fuck was I saying? Oh yeah, I was saying how I want to be a Dothraki.
Yes.
And fucking kill who I want and do what I want. And I hate the government and I hate this country. But you know what I love?
Super Metroid.
Super goddamn
Metroid.
Metroid.
Yeah, if there's one thin line that's holding everything together in my mental sanity, it's the fact that Super Metroid is still a thing. I have it on my shelf, and I can pop that son of a bitch in my fucking Super Nintendo right now and play it if I want.
This country is still alive. Abraham Lincoln's soul is still at peace, knowing all of our founding fathers, Lincoln and Washington, those beautiful slave-owning motherfuckers.
Yeah. Those hemp-growing, slave-owning fucks.
Those beautiful men who started our country, they're resting in their graves peacefully still, safe and secure only in the knowledge that Super Metroid still exists. And if it didn't, then they'd rise from their graves and start taking over and setting this country back on track.
Brutal. It would be brutal. The zombie uprising of like Abraham Lincoln and George Washington, if like all the copies of Super Metroid were ever like destroyed somehow, that's a premise for a movie right there.
How fucking beautiful is Columbia in BioShock Infinite? I mean, like, they try to set it up as a dystopia, but in my mind it doesn't work because I would so totally love to live there.
Yeah, I know. It's not a dystopia.
It really is a fucking utopia. It's beautiful.
I know.
And it's not even like dilapidated like Rapture was in the first BioShock.
Yeah.
It's like totally fine.
Even all the weird, creepy religious shit, I think I'd just be fine with that. I'd be like, okay, sure. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Like, yeah, that place would be great to live.
Fucking give me a world that worships the founding fathers and has like a stable economy and a stable way of life and loyalty and laws and themes of brotherhood and love and women that aren't whores and nice stable families with white picket fences and 2.5 kids.
Which
beautiful.
Is secretly completely evil and destroys like the entire world beneath it, but I think that
it's worth it. The world beneath it, let's be honest, deserves to be destroyed.
Does it?
Well, the world fuck it. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying anymore. I just want to live in a fucking happy world with fucking acapella Beach Boys groups and cotton candy.
That sounds wonderful. It sounds expensive a little bit, actually. Someone's got to pay for all that cotton candy. Someone's got to pay for the Beach Boys music.
You know what phrase I love?
Like
one of my favorite phrases is "real American" and "real America,"
real
because
America.
I have this feeling in my gut
Yeah.
that it's not even about living in America or anything to do with following the government or what they tell you to follow. I think being a real American is a state of mind that everyone in the world should strive towards. It's it's no specific ideology. It's just a feeling, man. It's just like Hulk Hogan. He's a real American. He fights for the rights of every man.
Yeah. I
Fight for your life.
I like where you're going with that. I like where you're going with that. I think that's good.
I always had this idea, because recently in the WWE, because I still watch that shit religiously because I'm 5 years old. But there was this tag team called the Real Americans.
Yeah.
Of Jack Swagger, and he's Jack Swagger's the blonde-haired, blue-eyed, all-American and his buddy Antonio Cesaro, who's an immigrant who came to this country completely legally from Switzerland, and he knows 7 languages.
Yeah.
He makes the story. He makes the stirring pot better. And their manager, Zeb Coulter, who's just hates immigrants, loves America, wants the Mexicans out. And they started out, and the thing is, their gimmick is they're the real Americans, but they're racist and they hate immigrants and they hate what this country has become. And they started out as a heel team, they're totally bad guys, and you're supposed to hate them because they hate the immigrants and all this politically incorrect stuff. But what started happening is people started cheering for them, even though they're supposed to be bad guys, because deep down, everyone knows that what they're saying isn't completely wrong and isn't completely crazy.
Yeah.
And people know that this country's really legitimately fucked. And so people started cheering for this team that's supposed to be bad guys because they're real Americans. and now because of that, the WWE is being forced to market them as the good guys, and they're being forced to downplay the racism, and they're just and now they put their hands on their hearts and they say "We the people" and the crowd chants with them, and now they're the good guys, and I'm loving it so much. They're fucking fantastic, and it just goes to show that people aren't as dumb as people know.
Yeah, people do
and
know.
It's just,
people do know.
And it's great.
I wanted to say that I rip on America all the time, and for very, very good reason. But America is a fucking beautiful place with amazing people. Some of the best people some of my best friends in the world are from America. I'm not what America is doing with oh god, it's a disaster. It's horrible. It's evil. It's fucking terrifying. But I think I would love to be part of some effort to try to restore America's image of greatness, because I truly do think that it was a fantastic fucking nation.
I don't think that there's ever been or ever will be a country with a better mission statement than the United States.
Yeah.
And it's too bad that it was raped and destroyed and is a hollowed out husk of its former
self. Yeah. People were literally dying to get to America. People would die in the process of getting to America for that opportunity. It's absolutely incredible. Nothing on the planet has ever been formed before. And unfortunately now it's been completely taken over and usurped, and maybe that was the whole design from the beginning, but I'm not sure about that, because I think some wonderful, amazing things came from the fucking great nation of America.
I'm getting really out there now, and maybe it's the wine, but I think that people have a genetic memory, and
yep.
I think that we all have inside us this idea of how the country started, and we all can feel and that's the real America, man. It's that place inside you that knows what's wrong and knows what needs to be fixed.
Yeah, I'd say the genetic memory goes back far longer than that, and I'd say that feeling is I'd say America's part of that, but I'd say that's maybe something a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know why I really love the phrase "real America"?
What?
It's it comes from the first time I heard the phrase "real America" was in this comic from the 70s called Green Arrow and Green Lantern, a DC comic where and it was in the 70s, and it was supposed to be this kind of politically charged superhero comic, and it was really the first of its kind.
Yep.
And the whole thing of it was in the first issue, it's a Green Lantern, and he comes to the city, and it's Green Arrow, and they meet up due to comic book happenstance, and they fight off some alien invaders. But at the end of it, there's this poor black man, and he's really mad at Green Lantern, and Green Lantern's "What are you mad at me for? I saved the day." And the black guy is "Yeah, you saved the world from aliens. You're doing all this shit for them purple skin aliens and the green skins, but what have you done for the black skins?" And then it's and then there's this, and it's really corny, cheesy 70s dialogue. But there's this panel where it's Green Lantern being all sad, "My God, I've lost sight of the real America." and then it's
that's great.
And then it's and the whole series is him and Green Arrow, they team up and they get in the van and they drive across the nation trying to find the real America, and they help people with like their ordinary problems and shit, and they deal with like contemporary issues of the 70s. It's like one of my favorite comics. Like it's kind of dated now and it's kind of like corny and cheesily written, but like but even still, like to read today, it's so fun and like so like it gives you this hope. Like man, let's do it. Let's go find the real America.
I like
and
that.
And at the end of the day, that's what we're all searching for. We're all just searching for the real America.
You're damn right we are. You're damn right we are. Good luck on that search, my friend. I'll be searching. I am a real American.
Fight for what's right. Fight for your life.
Oh, man. That guy. That fucking guy. Wasn't there? Didn't he release like some album? Like he had an album where it's like he had some song about like some kid with cancer.
Yes, the little hoaxer in heaven.
Yeah, his ego is so big. He's like, the world just lost another Hulkamaniac or something like that.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
Wrestling. Everything good in my life can get boiled back down to wrestling in some way, shape, or form. I can't imagine the sad, broken, homeless wreck I'd be if I never had wrestling in my life.
I don't even know where to begin with that.
It's still real to me.
It's still real to me, damn it. Oh, that guy. My heart goes out to him. Really does. Really does. I wish him nothing but the best. Oh, wrestling. Man, I remember watching that when I was younger. And like I remember like I started watching like wrestling back when I was a kid, where that was back when the wrestlers wouldn't wrestle each other. They'd wrestle like just no-name guys. Where you have like the famous wrestlers like Macho Man Randy Savage versus like Doug Farley or some shit.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. My Skype might be having a problem.
Oh no.
Oh, it's back. No, it's good. It's good. We're good. We're good. Everything's fine here now.
You know, like wrestling was like so much more like. I mean, maybe it's because I was a kid and it's nostalgia, but like it seemed like wrestling was like such a more innocent thing back then. I mean, like, because I can watch like old wrestling DVDs.
Yeah, it's definitely. Despite the fact that it's like violent as hell, it was definitely a more innocent thing. Because like. It was basically kids, like not.
Yeah, it was like cartoon characters, basically.
Exactly. Yeah, it was cartoon characters and fantasy. Like the Undertaker was like a superhero that you always thought maybe had, like supernatural powers, and then they turn him into he's a biker. He's like a angry biker guy, and I'm like, fuck. I'm like, well, the Undertaker's still cool, I guess, but like my Undertaker was like that creepy guy with the hat, where it's like you thought he had like ghostly powers when you were a kid or something like that.
And it's like I can watch an old wrestling DVD from like the early '90s today and still be so enthralled in it that I like. An enthrallment that I don't often feel watching modern wrestling, and I'm not gonna say that it's because modern wrestling isn't as good or modern wrestlers aren't as good, because that's totally not true and totally disrespectful to the wrestlers that are today. But I think that like just the aesthetic in general, like it was so much more bright and like the colors so much more colorful.
Yeah.
You know?
It was more like a comic book and less like a fucking I don't know.
And it's like I think a lot of the problem with wrestling today is that the WWE has such a monopoly on it, and it's every week with the same roster, and these guys have to cram all their stuff and fit into the storyline of every week, every month leading up to a pay-per-view for that month.
Yeah. That
you really don't get the time in the week-to-week shows to have the long, actually really good matches that you would have in the old days. Like,
yeah, I can kind of see what you mean.
Because they have to they kind of have to phone it in a little bit. And they have to save all the best matches for the pay-per-views every month. So you only get that every month. Because no one wants to fucking do some crazy-ass risk and injure themselves on, like, the Monday show.
Yeah,
when they're trying to save it up for, like, the pay-per-view.
That makes perfect sense, yeah.
Yeah, and the problem is the pay-per-views cost money, so you don't see that the good stuff as much as you would in the old days.
I remember back being, like, a kid, and, like, me and my brother... I probably shouldn't say his name on the podcast, but me and my brother, I said my other two brothers' names. Fuck it. No, this brother I probably shouldn't say. But we would watch, what was it, like fucking SmackDown or whatever. Like that was back when like The Rock was like in his glory days. And that was great. And the thing is like we'd always come up with like these alternate storylines for what they should have done. But the thing is like my brother would come up with like the best ones. Like when he would think of like what should be going on with like wrestling fucking sweaty man drama, he'd come up with like the most interesting fucking shit. And we actually, what was it? He didn't start the site, but he like found this site. It was like role play wrestling. Oh my god, that sounds so fucking retarded to hear me say it. But like, okay, it was basically like you'd make your character and you'd basically like cut a promo. You'd type out like a promo of your character and whatnot, and then like the people on the site had like some sort of like okay, basically whoever cut the best promo and whoever talked the most shit. I guess people around the site would just decide who wins. But they had this like program where like it would like give like blow by blow play of like both of the wrestlers with their special moves and everything that was happening and whatnot. And so like it would type out like all this like actual wrestling match for people to read. It was all text based, right? But it would type out this like whole wrestling match and whatnot. And my brother's character, I believe it was his name was The Rush. And fucking Christ, some of the fucking stuff that kid wrote was just, I mean, he's like, he went on to be like an English major. Maybe he has his master's now. I don't fucking know. Hopefully he's not gonna listen to this podcast and hear me just blatantly, drunkenly not knowing much about my brother, because they don't talk to him like all that often. He has his own separate grown-up life these days. But actually, I talked to him earlier today, which is, wow, I cannot get into what we talked about. But in any case, weird wraparound. Jesus Christ. Yeah, the stuff that this kid would write was fucking brilliant. That he was meant to be a writer from day one, and he's so fucking good at it. But I had my own character on that site, of course, and that was Captain Squiddy. Captain Squiddy was like an angry, almost like a heel character, like an angry, drunken, like fat, I don't know, nappy ass like pirate. And his special move was walk the plank, where like you basically get the guy inverted, like you're gonna do a DDT, but then you like run backwards for like extra power, and then drop him on his head. And I was walking the plank. That doesn't have anything to do with actually walking a plank, but it was yeah.
I had a character that I made, like, for a long time. Like, I've stopped buying them in recent years because they just sort of become like Madden, and it's just the same shit every year. But for a long time, I bought the wrestling games every year, like, of my entire life until a certain point. Yeah. And I think, I don't know if it was like one of the SmackDowns from a couple years ago, like SmackDown like 11 or 12 or something. Like, I made my character, and like I've made my character like in every game and every year from the beginning, and that'd be like a cool thing to go through, and like see all the old characters of my life.
Yep.
But like I made this character in like the most recent one that I had, which was a couple years ago. But like it was me, and I was the Double Devil, Jesse Wood. And like
Devil.
Like my entrance was like so beautiful. Like I went really in depth with it too. Like,
I bet you did. I bet you spent like an hour, probably even more hours designing
I would
the
go
fucking
so
intro.
in depth with this
Like
shit.
only you would ever see it, but you just love it every single time.
Like,
you're like, fuck.
Like I gave myself like clothes, like special clothes that I would only wear for the intro. So like I made a jacket, and I especially put like an emblem on the background with like 2 big D's for Double Devil.
That's great.
Like, and I would come to the ring, and I'd have like a big cape on and like a scepter.
Yup.
Like,
Scepter.
and I'd have like devil horns, like fucking Egg Parish from Horns, like fucking that Danny Radcliffe picture I showed you yesterday.
Yup.
And I'd come to the ring as the Double Devil, and the song, of course, the only song that I'll ever come to the ring to, motherfucking Tarzan Boy, greatest song ever written.
It is.
And
it is.
And I had the screen like a filter on it, so it was all like hippie colors and shit, and all like washed out, like all trippy dippy. And like I'd come to the ring and I'd be dancing, and like, and I'd have pyrotechnics like shooting up flames, like, and it would make like a big tunnel of flames. Like the motherfucking Double Devil would be dancing down the aisle through a tunnel of flames with the hippy dippy filter on to the ring, to the motherfucking Tarzan Boy, and it was the most beautiful thing. And I actually have the footage of it. I have the footage of it on my computer.
Do? I got.
Now that I'm talking about it, I have no excuse not to post it. So I guess that's what I'm gonna have to do now.
Post it up. That'll be like the follow-up to the fucking podcast. So I mean, I'm sorry. Excuse me. The party cast.
The party cast.
Party cast. The party cast.
I can't wait till like a couple of these in, like a couple of podcasts in, where like we just don't even care anymore. I was like, hey, welcome to us talking.
Yeah. Fuck the intro. Fuck the music. We got no theme. Just welcome to fucking Johnny and Jesse. We're just talking for 3 hours.
Man, I used to have a lot of fun though on those on all of the old wrestling games, like dating way back to like WWF Warzone. PS1.
I actually do remember. I do remember Warzone. Yeah.
Yes, and like WCW, NWO, World Tour, and Revenge. Those are the fucking best because I
didn't play a lot of them, but Warzone I played a little bit of.
Because that N64 was such a perfect system for fun.
Yeah, it was.
The N64 is the most fun system ever made, just in terms of because it's the ultimate party system, and it still is to this day. To this day, I can whip out an N64 with my friends, and we'll have the best time of our lives.
That was the first system to come out that like it had the crazy dynamic controller, and it had 4 controller ports. Excuse me here.
Yes.
It had 4 controller ports, so like it was designed and gave everyone, all the developers, all this opportunity to make like fucking party games. And like since then, now we have party games. Now we have systems with multiple controllers, and then obviously the whole online multiplayer thing. But like back then, I mean, like you didn't have the internet. Like that was multiplayer. Multiplayer was like, holy shit! Instead of 2 players, we can have 4 people. That totally changed the dynamic of like gaming. Like having fucking four friends and you're all playing like Gauntlet Legends together. Holy fucking Christ! Like that was the most amazing.
Gauntlet Legends is so fucking amazing. Like to this day,
fun.
The most fun I could possibly think to have. Like there's like nothing I'd rather do than like get like 3 of my friends together and play in 64. Just any game on it. I'd rather do that than have sex.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I legitimately would.
Dude, I gotta tell you about like my Gauntlet Legends experience, because like it's actually like pretty emotional, because of like the whole thing surrounding it. But we had this friend back in the day named Joe, and he worked on the oil rigs, and he was one day killed when a crane like something hit him in the back of his head, and he like fucking fell like 30 stories, and like yeah, and I smoked 3 packs of cigarettes in a span of about 4 hours and was crying the entire time. It was one of the worst experiences of my entire life because we hung with that guy all the time. But the good experiences of it, like, and I'll always remember them, obviously, I was Gauntlet Legends. There was a period of maybe 2, maybe 3 weeks in the summertime where we were all gathering at Joe's house, God rest his fucking soul, to play Gauntlet Legends. And he was good old straight edge Joe. This guy never smoked, never drank. But like anytime like we'd come over, he'd just like buy a whole bunch of beer. Like he worked in the oil rigs, he made crazy money. He'd go out there and like work for like 6 months, then come back, and he'd just like hang out and party with us. And like he didn't drink, but he'd be like, yeah, like we'd come over there, there'd be like fucking 48 beers in the fridge. Like that was just Joe. Like he wasn't buying that so we would come over. He just bought it for us. And the setup that he had in the basement, like when he'd come home, like his parents' house, in the basement, well, not the basement, I guess the second level, but there's like a pool table and kind of like a lounge, and like a big one of those like old projection screen TVs, like a really fucking big one put up in the wall with a fucking N64. So imagine like this lounge with these super comfy chairs and this giant screen TV where we could all play fucking Gauntlet Legends. Like you could not think of anything better. And like we would kind of trade off characters because there was more than just the 4 of us. But for probably like 3-4 weeks, we all got together and we would play. Oh man, I remember like I was living with my buddy Dave, or I spent like a week at my buddy Dave's. I forget exactly why. I was like crashing. I think my parents were out of town. Like they didn't trust me with like keys to the house or some bullshit because I was a shitty teenager. But I was like crashing at Dave's, and I remember like walking over there. Or actually, no, I remember like Joe, like I think maybe texting. No, it couldn't have been a text. He must have like called me or something like that, like at like 11 a.m. and was like, "Yeah, do you want to play some Gauntlet Legends?" It was like one of those early morning things where it's like we knew that everyone was gonna like meet up and we were all gonna play it later that night. But I guess he was just up and figured that maybe I would be too. I remember like walking over to his place because it wasn't too far from Dave's. And just like the 2 of us, like fucking chilling and playing Gauntlet Legends, and like, oh, the drunken times that we had. See, that was back when we just drank kokanee because we didn't know any better, right? Kokanee with the fucking Sasquatch. Oh, the Sasquatch. Oh, the Sasquatch on the label. There's like that hidden Sasquatch in the mountains. The kokanee labels, or there at least there used to be. And we were playing cards this one night, and somebody pointed that out to me, and it fucking blew my mind. And I was like grabbing everybody's beers looking for the Sasquatch because he's like in different places all the time, but. So many fucking fun times at that guy's house. Like, if anyone didn't deserve it, it was him. Like, that was like, fuck, that was a fucking tragedy, man. I've never had, like, a friend, like, die like that. Like, it's just, I don't know. I don't really like thinking about it. But the times that we had with Joe, fucking Gauntlet Legends, man.
And that reminds me of, like, I had this cousin, Paul, and, like, he's a lot older. He's your age, so, like, and he's moved to, like, Houston. He has, like, a baby and a wife, and so I never see him anymore, and I rarely get to talk to him anymore.
Yeah.
But like my fondest, earliest gaming memories, this is going like way back to when I was like 7. Like the PlayStation had just come out, and like I didn't have it at first. He had all this. He had a PlayStation. He had an N64, and he had 2 arcade cabinets that his dad had bought for the house. He had Mario Bros. And he had Donkey Kong, the arcades in the house, and it was the coolest shit. And like I just remember like those late nights. Like I would go over there and spend the night with him.
Yeah.
And he was 7 years old. Like he was 14, and I was 7. He did not have to fucking hang out with me.
Yep.
He didn't have to hang out with a fucking 7-year-old little piece of shit, but he did.
And he did.
And like I would go over there.
That is a wonderful thing.
Yeah, and we'd fucking stay up all night, and he'd let me play games with him, and we'd play fucking Tenchu and Star Fox and fucking Gauntlet Legends and Destruction Derby and all these fucking WCW, all these fucking great games. And to this day, he's like, I have this huge fucking Irish gigantic Catholic family.
Yeah.
And to this day, he's like one of the only people in my family that like I have a connection with that I can always be able to talk to whenever I see him. And I never get to see him anymore, but man, like, I will never forget those are like the best like gaming memories of my life. And I remember like the first time I ever fucking saw Final Fantasy VII, and it blew my mind so much because he got it first.
Yeah.
And like I would play with him, and I didn't have a fucking memory card, and neither did he at the time. So we would play through like Midgar, just the entire like over and over again, like 12 times.
Wow.
When I finally beat Midgar, it was like I thought I'd beaten the game, and I couldn't believe that there was that much more game.
Yeah.
And it just like blew my mind.
Yeah, I bet it did. Fuck.
And that was like my first exposure to like that game, and that game like became like something that was like so important to me over time. And it's just like, I don't know, man. It's like you just can't replace those memories. And he's like old now, and he has a kid, and he's like an adult, and I never see him.
Yeah.
Man, I remember.
That was a beautiful thing that he gave to you, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I just noticed.
I wish he lived here.
I was gonna say I just noticed something. Miss S2613 Shay of Team Old School. I guess she's been listening to the live stream, and I just glanced over, and she posits a question here. She says, "I have a question for the two of you. If you could teach one skill to the world, what skill would you teach the world?" That's pretty fucking interesting.
Empathy.
Empathy. I'm glad you answered so quickly. That's wonderful. Empathy's a good one.
I think that's my answer. I can't think of anything better than that.
Teaching people to be empathic, to be able to feel what others feel.
Yeah, I mean, if it's even a skill, I mean, I guess that's kind of like a...
I think it's something that you can learn
sort
to
of
do. I certainly try to learn to be better at it.
Yeah, I think that's what the world needs more of. Which is kind of a hippie thing to say, especially coming from me, as fucking nihilistic and bitter as I am, but there it is.
I mean, I could say the same, but I guess I don't want to pick the same thing that you picked. I have to think about that one.
Armpit farts are a good skill too.
Definitely, yeah. Armpit farts are actually pretty good, because you don't see a lot of people doing that these days.
It's a close second.
It's a little unfortunate. And if I may, hold on. Oh, I still got it. You know who taught me the armpit fart was Philip Kuhorn back in fucking early grade school. He was the one who taught us, and then my friend David Peters thought of the old armpit fart where he'd make the armpit fart and then it'd be like, missiles away, and that for some reason was hilarious to us as fucking idiot kids. But if I had to teach this one skill to the world, armpit farts would be a close second. Christ, empathy, that's hard to top. I don't know. A skill. Skill denotes almost like a craftsman type thing that you can like learn and hone and like get better at and whatnot. Maybe like conversation, maybe like the skill of conversation. I guess it could be tied into empathy, but like the ability to like talk to a person long enough and like get inside who they are. That's a fantastic fucking skill to have. Like to be able to like get down like to the core of who a person is, get through all like their bullshit and all the walls they put up, and be able to like see who they are. Because it's always beautiful. It's like even when it's like tragic or sad or like ugly, it's always fucking beautiful. So, I guess that'd be my answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was a fun little little detour.
I guess in terms of like purely like, just like the hard definition of like a skill, like a talent or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it's good to like. I'd say like it's good to be able to write.
Yeah.
Because like I've always been able to write, and I'm thankful that I've always had that ability to like express myself with words if I like sit down and like think about what I really want to say.
I think I take that
That's
for
a good
granted
thing
a lot of times. It's like, I mean, obviously YouTube commenters that shows you how people are very unable to write properly, but the ability to like communicate in general, like to properly maybe I'll switch my answer to that. It's like just to communicate, teach everyone how to communicate. It ties into so many different fucking things, but like the better you can communicate with people. I mean, would we have as many problems as we do if we all communicated with each other properly? And that's such a loose, like almost shallow thing to say. So whenever people are saying like, what's really important in a relationship? we could talk about like marriage counseling. What's the most important thing in your relationship? It's good communication. Like, what the fuck does that mean? If you say it's good communication, you probably don't even fucking understand what that fucking means. If that's like
and your relationship is probably doomed.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know. That's being able to communicate.
Let's be honest, the most important thing in any relationship is sex.
Well,
and if you say it's anything but that, then it just means that you're bad at sex and your relationship's going to fail.
That's definitely important. And obviously, like, communicating to your partner is important in a relationship, too. But I mean, like, I had a relationship that, like, didn't completely end up the way I expected it to be. But, like, it wasn't like we didn't communicate. But, like, actually, no, I'm not going to talk about that aspect of my personal life.
Yeah, you don't want to end up like me.
No. I think that I don't think I'm in the right mental state to bring that up. But maybe someday. Maybe we'll have the former Mrs. Old School on the podcast. And
that'd be interesting.
It would be interesting. She's a fantastic person. I still talk to her. I borrowed fucking $15 from her today, so that's why I have the fucking beer to do this fucking podcast. So the Bits and Booze Partycast, sponsored by the former Mrs. Old School. She's a great person though. She can fucking pound back beers with the best of them. It's like
we should have both of our exes on a podcast.
Actually,
like
that's
a double
not a bad
date.
idea. That's not a bad idea, actually. Getting both of our fucking exes on a podcast, that would be interesting. Huh.
I'd so do it.
You would do it?
I was just talking to her the other day, and because I was talking to her about those like Footwear Talks to a Fan videos that I've been doing. She's like, "Why don't you have Footwear Talks to an ex? I'll be on." And I'm like, "Would you really want to do that?" And she's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay," because that could be awkward and beautiful.
Yeah,
and horrible.
Yeah. I kind of like that idea.
We should have her on the Bits and Booze podcast.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, she'd totally do it if we set up a day and time she was on. She'd definitely do it. I was talking to her on Skype the other night, getting her to say the Bits and Booze Partycast in like the super like drunken sexy voice, because like that was my original idea for the promo of this, to get a few girls together to say in the fucking sexy voice and whatnot. And then you fucking cut your lines. You give me those, and I was like, okay, no, nothing's gonna compare to that. That's fucking epic. I'm sorry, ladies, it's not gonna happen. But no, I still want to. I got some great clips of her 'cause she was like really drunk. Well, we were both really drunk that night, and she has a fucking amazing voice. So that's why she's so popular on all these online on games and Skype and whatnot, because she sounds just fucking flirty and sexy as hell. It's wonderful. So she has like that bubbly, innocent girly voice. So get her on. We'll get her on one of these days. If we did an episode, we were talking about Futurama. I don't know if your ex watched Futurama, but fucking Christ, she sure did. Every night, loved it.
I'm sure I made her watch Futurama a few times, because I was like, yeah, the way you were with the Simpsons, like DVD commentaries every day. That's like how I was for a long time with Futurama.
That's how I became with Futurama, and I think it's the superior show now. So can't believe I just said that. I guess it's true.
How dare you?
I guess that's actually what I feel. I just blurted it out, and I actually feel that Futurama is better than the Simpsons.
When you say something without meaning to, and then you realize that you totally...
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what just happened there. I've loved The Simpsons for so long, and I still do. But
I haven't loved you in 5 years, bitch! Oh, my God.
Jeez. I feel kind of bad. I should, like, send, like, Matt Groening, like, some flowers or something like that. I do love The Simpsons, but... You know what I miss? My fucking e-cigarette that I left at fucking PK's house during our last Thanksgiving booze reviews, because I've been smoking these bullshit fucking cigars for the last couple of days, and like obviously I don't expect the guy to like drive all the way out here and spend like $100 million in fucking gas money to drop on my fucking nicotine habit, but fuck, man, I'm sitting here like with a shitty lighter trying to light up this fucking piece of rolled tobacco that I have from this like cigar that like I smoked down halfway and it was like fucking too shitty to smoke anymore, so like I'll just bust it up and roll in. Jesus Christ. Fucking pathetic. I'm a fucking nicotine junkie, apparently. That's my life become. Actually, I think I'm fine with it. Now that I think about it. If I can get this fucking thing lit, god damn it. Fuck.
Yeah. I'm drunk.
Are you? You're drunk on the Bits and Booze Party Cast? Good sir.
I'm gonna need to, like, invest in some, like, vodka or something, because if I'm drinking, like, wine and beer and Strawberitas every week from now on, I'm gonna get huge.
Yeah, vodka's fantastic, man. I love it. I love beer more, but I have a crazy metabolism that apparently lets me maintain, like, visible stomach muscles and drink as
I'll be
much
honest,
as I
like,
do. So
I hate the taste of hard liquor a lot.
yeah,
But I hate calories so much more.
this is true. This is true. Knock back a couple shots of vodka before the old bits and booze. It'll be good to go. Or you can mix it with orange juice like a girl.
Ooh, I'd totally do that.
Yeah, no, the screwdrivers. They're delicious. Or as I call them, orange vod juice. I don't know if you ever watched The Office, but for those of you who have, high five! That's an Office reference. Remember that show with Jim and Pam and Dwight and all those fun people? Great.
Yeah, I remember the time that Chandler fucked that girl. No, we're not talking about their road. Oh,
No.
fuck.
Oh, Friends. Friends. Oh, man.
Fuck Friends. Fuck Friends up the friend hole.
I loved Friends, man. That was like such a guilty secret pleasure. That was like
That's
Friends was
evil,
like
Johnny. That's evil.
Friends was like the TV show version of like the Spice Girls for me. Like I secretly really liked it. I just felt completely ashamed of it, but
I don't secretly like the Spice Girls. I dragged
pretty
my
open
older
about it
brother
now.
to see the Spice Girls with me
I've gone to the Spice
when I
Girls
was
a lot,
8 years
I guess.
old.
Did you?
Yeah, and he was like 26 at the time,
That's
at least.
great. That's great. I'd see the fucking Spice Girls in concert. Hells yeah, that'd be great. Rip a couple fucking lines of meth in the fucking porta potty before the show.
Oh
Spice
man,
Girls
they
is
were
all
so
about
pretty.
hard drugs and thrashing out.
I have the game on PS1, and it's like one of the most fucked up games on the face of the earth.
There's a Spice Girls game.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
it
how
is
have you not made a video of that,
fucked up.
dude?
It is almost unplayable. It's so fucked up.
God, you gotta do. Please, just do it.
I mean, like the whole game
Okay, for Christmas.
is like
this
you
year,
take control of these like
Can you make a video
fucked
for
up, like-
Christmas? That'll be my Christmas present.
the whole the whole game is you like it's these fucked up like bobblehead 32-bit versions of the Spice Girls,
Yeah.
and you take one and you like it's like you're like recording their songs, but it's like their songs. It's their songs, so they're already recorded. But like
Yeah.
you sort of like mix them and you like jump on these tiles to put different parts of the songs in different places. So you can have like the chorus like 5 times in a row, and then like the first verse like 8 times in a row if you
That
want.
sounds-
And that's like
Yes.
that's the whole fucking game.
Wow.
You just rearrange the fucking songs
Wow.
and look at these creepy demonic Spice Girl bobblehead
And
creatures.
somebody paid $40 for that.
I paid
Paid
40
$40 for that. That's sad. That is a sad thing, my friend. I've spent my money on so much worse. Oh, I cannot actually. Honestly, if I had disposable income right now, like let's just say I had like I don't know $1 million in my bank account, I would probably just go onto eBay right now and be like, you know what, I'm gonna try that Spice Girls game. I'm gonna buy that. And I'm gonna get that sent to my door. I'll play it. I'll make
That's
a
like
video
one
of it.
That's definitely one of those instances where like I expect nothing and I'm still disappointed.
Yeah, yeah. Oh God, totally. Ugh, Spice Girls.
Fucking Spice Girls.
I used to do films. Well, not films. I used to work with a buddy of mine back in the day. I'm trying to get to post his shit on the internet. He did this Star Trek spoof. That is fucking amazing. Fucking amazing. Like he did it with like basically no budget. He just like one day he just kind of like decided he wanted to make a movie and like dropped like 20 grand of his savings into equipment and like filmed it on location at this water slide park that we worked at in the off season. And he also used to sell fireworks. So he had like he used to sell fireworks during Halloween. So he had like this big surplus of fireworks used for like special effects. And this guy spent like 2 years editing this thing, and it came out like fucking amazing. Like for one of those like bullshit, cheesy, on purpose, like fucking crazy, fucking. You just gotta see. Have I showed you the trailer? Have I showed you the trailer? Deja vu.
I ain't seen it.
It's fucking incredible. I don't know where I was going. Oh, I do remember where I was going with that. There's this one guy who did videos with us a couple times, like this fat, short, like pudgy, unshaven, typical, like the kind of guy you'd see at a brony convention, I'm sure. Somehow we got on the topic of the Spice Girls, and he was talking about the Spice Girls movie, and he seemed to constantly try to like go back to the fact that like it really is like a good like family movie, you know, like there's all these different like good things about it. And it was almost like he was trying to convince us that he liked it for reasons other than the fact that he was like a creepy fat guy who just wanted to fucking bang the Spice Girls. It was kind of funny.
It's definitely a very watchable, very fun movie. I don't know if it's good in the strictest sense of the term.
It's a movie. It's this,
but it's definitely an enjoyable feature film.
yeah. To watch it nowadays, I'd probably have to be fucked up on something. I don't think I'd watch the Spice Girls straight. I don't think I would. But if I was like really drunk and high or something like that, and hanging with some friends, sure, why not? Toss on fucking Spice World. fucking fucking Meatloaf, the bus driver.
Yes.
But that was the best. The best line in the movie was like Meatloaf, that song, "I'll do anything for love," where like someone asked him to like fix the Spice Girls toilet, and he's like, "I love the Spice Girls, and I'd do anything for them, but I won't do that." That was kind of brilliant. Clearly, I've watched the movie before, at least once. Actually, you know what? Okay, I'll say this. Back when I was like 16, I actually rented the VHS because I used to rent movies like any fucking kid did. Go down to the store from his parents' house and fucking rent movies. And one night I was like, I'm gonna rent the Spice Girls movie because I have a crush on Sporty Spice. So there you go. Sporty Spice was fucking awesome.
Oh God, I really have to pee.
Okay, do that. I'm just gonna talk about the Spice Girls in the meantime.
Yeah, you just sit here and like talk to yourself about the Spice Girls.
I will. I plan to. See, now you'd think that with old Johnny's redhead fetish that it's completely a secret that he doesn't let out at all. You'd think that fucking Ginger Spice would be his favorite. Not so. Not so. It is Sporty Spice. I think something about her face, maybe her physical bodily structure. I don't know what the fuck I'm trying to say, but Ginger Spice just didn't do it for me. Now if you took Sporty Spice and she dyed her hair red. Oh, sweet Jesus, I'd be in fucking Spice Girl heaven right there. But, yeah, Ginger Spice didn't do it for me. Posh Spice, Christ. Whatever happened to that fucking woman? She married that, like, soccer star, got, like, the tit implants. Just life went straight to hell. I don't know about the other two. Fucking Scary Spice and Baby Spice. I have no idea what happened to them. I mean, I don't exactly follow the Spice Girls' careers, but when you just live in this world, you're exposed to enough popular fucking media that you can't really escape. You go to the fucking supermarket, you see a goddamn magazine with some bullshit about some celebrity, and it's like, okay, well, I'm up to date on the fucking royal wedding apparently now. They have a kid. That's beautiful, great. But that's pretty much all I got on the Spice Girls. Jesse, come on, get back from your pee here. So I got to talk about the Spice Girls more. Okay, how about a little bit of trivia? The first Spice Girls music video for "If You Want to Be My Lover." They actually filmed that all in one single take. And if you have a memory as disgustingly good as I do for these sorts of things, there's even a back clip of the Scary Spice. Fuck! And that was all in one single take. I think it was the first take. Actually, I think it was like the first like take they did of it. So brilliant.
Oh God, my cowboy boots!
What did you do?
I spilled tea everywhere, and I can't stop farting.
You spilled tea on your cowboy boots.
Just a second. Oh, God.
You get me?
Ew.
The Bits and Booze Party Cast featuring tea on Jesse Wood's cowboy boots.
Oh, God. You know the sad thing about my life is I use the same towel that I use to wipe my jizz off when I masturbate, that I use to wipe shit off the floor when I spill it. So I know one of these days I'm just going to be like rubbing like dead spiders and dust into my dick hole, and it's just, I can't even.
I just assumed that was kind of the same thing for everybody. That just generic cleanup towel that we all have. We just use it for everything. And we never wash it either. It's like a black hole where just like all the filth that goes into it, we just kind of assume it disappears. It's like that universal towel that you can use to clean up any spill, even if it's bodily fluids.
Are you really talking about Spice Girls?
I'm cuddling mine right now. Actually, I was talking about the Spice Girls the entire time. You were gone fluently, in fact. I had all sorts.
My favorite Spice Girl, it like fluctuates. Because I mean, like, man, I used to like Baby Spice when I was a kid.
Baby Spice was fucking hot when she did that whole pigtail thing. Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Ladies.
Yeah, like a real life Harley Quinn.
If you're ever in the mood and you just want your man to fuck you, just put your hair in pigtails and just walk into the room. He'll probably get the message.
Or just get naked.
Well, you gotta. That's not the fun. That's taking away. That's taking away half the fun. It's like unwrapping the present, right? You wouldn't want your parents like Christmas morning just to sit you down and be like, here you go, here's your Super Nintendo. No, you gotta fucking wait for it, and then you get to like touch it, and like your parents say no, and then you can open it, and you like tear out the wrap, and you're like, oh my god, and then you like dig into the box and shit like that. That's a bizarre. That's a bizarre analogy I'm coming up with for fucking a woman. That's like the most like childish. Like I'm thinking of like Christmas morning and Super Nintendo. Jesus Christ! No wonder I'm not fucking getting laid right now. What the fuck is wrong with me? Well, like,
oh, dude, when I see a naked woman like in real life in front of me, it's exactly like the N64 Kid video. It's just like a naked woman.
Oh man.
really happening? What?
The perfect analogy. Oh, I love that N64 kid, man. Did you ever see the Flash animation? Somebody did of that, where it's like, he's like, Nintendo 64, and like, but it's like these kids who are like screaming in terror, and this Nintendo 64 smashes through the wall with like all the controllers waving like tentacles, and like grabs them. He's like, oh my god, Nintendo 64! And his little sister's like, yes, yeah, as if she's like cheering on the Nintendo 64 as it like drags his little cartoon corpse like out the fucking like hole that it just busted through the wall.
That is
Beautiful.
gorgeous.
It was beautiful. Gorgeous indeed. I wonder what that kid's doing right now.
Yeah, fucking.
He's probably
You
dead.
know,
He probably got AIDS and died.
I hope so. That's what he gets
That's
for
the
being
worst
a
thing I've
child.
said all night. That's the, of everything that I've said tonight. That's the worst thing. We should keep like a running tally for the podcast, or we record like
We should.
we have like highlights. We do like a highlight reel where it's like
Add a point for something racist.
Yeah.
Add a point for hoping someone dies. Add a point for saying AIDS.
Yeah.
Add 2 points if it's a child.
yeah, it's like 5 minutes, like the worst things that we've ever said. Oh, that'd be awful. Actually, maybe we shouldn't do that.
This Boost Party Cast encourages all of our viewers to put together their own mashups of the horrible things we've said.
Oh God. Well, they say any publicity is good publicity, so I don't know if I entirely believe that, but fuck, now I gotta take a piss, but I don't really want to get up. The Bits of Booze Party Cast, featuring Johnny, who constantly has to pee. We're very professional about this.
I wish I had more booze.
I wish you did.
It's gone.
I wish you did too. There needs to be like a booze of the month club, where it's like you pay for the service and you just get like booze delivered to your doorstep every week. It's like,
Yes.
actually, there probably is something like that. There's gotta be. If there's not, maybe I should start one. The Johnny Old School Booze of the Month Club. You're actually just gonna get like sealed cans of my piss. It's not fermented or anything. I just peed in the can, and that'll be the joke. That'll be the joke. I'll find it hilarious, but people who pay me their $50, I expect a lot of lawsuits. A lot. I expect lawsuits from every single one of them, actually. So.
Just tell them it's a joke, man, and that they're part of the
Comedian. I'm a
joke. They
comedian.
got a problem with it, they might as well be
Exactly.
heckling the comedian.
Yeah,
You're a
exactly.
comedian,
I'm
you
a
do
comedian.
say whatever.
Yeah, it was a joke. You guys just didn't get the joke. I'm a comedian.
What if like a serial killer, like was on trial? He's like, hey, I'm a comedian. I didn't mean to cut up those hookers' titties off and put them on a plate like flan and eat them with a spoon out of the microwave.
I was doing it for the YouTube views, man. People find that shit hilarious. That's fucked.
I've always wondered about that. I've always wondered, like, if I were to eat like any part of a human,
What part would you eat?
I think I would cut off a titty, and I'd keep it in the fridge, and I'd put it on a plate like flan, like pudding Jello.
I don't think I'd eat
and
a
dig into
I
a
think
spoon.
I think if I had to like eat a human, I'd probably want to like choose some part of them that was like really soft. I don't know.
Yeah, titties are soft.
I'm thinking
If
like
they're
lips.
real.
If you like sliced off a lip, you could probably toss that in a pan with like a little lemon pepper, some like mushrooms.
Oh, that'd be just like an onion.
Yeah. It's
It'd curl up in the grease.
Just soak up all that.
I'd put that on a burger.
Yeah, a
Lip burger.
pan-seared human lip. Fuck.
I want to eat people so bad.
Definitely. And do you remember like those guys in Germany who got like busted or something like that, where like they're part of like some like underground like cannibal following or something like that, where like these two guys got together and this one guy wanted to be killed and eaten, and the other guy wanted to kill and eat somebody, and so that's what they did.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's fuck. Like that's fucked up. I'm perfectly fine with
Well, I wouldn't kill a person, but like,
hold on a second. I was about to say I'm perfectly fine with the police coming there and shutting that down, but I just realized I heard my own tiny bit of like doubt in my voice where like I'm not completely sure if I'm not fine with that. What the fuck was that? I'm not completely sure if I'm not fine with these people doing this horrible.
I don't know what that even says. What that even means.
What does that say about me? What does that say that like there's some part of me that like maybe thinks that that's okay if these people are
Hey,
consenting adults?
Society's arbitrary laws about cannibalism
Fuck.
are just that arbitrary. I mean,
Well, okay, you were talking from the whole comedic perspective, sure. Yeah.
No, I'm not. I mean, no. Do you know how much space and how much land is used up in this country on cemeteries? We could use that land for homes for the fucking homeless. And instead we're using it to bury dead bodies that can't feel, that can't think, that have no reason to even be on this earth. That's what we're using it for.
Do
We're
the whole
wasting
Twilight Green thing, yeah.
thousands of acres on dead bodies. Why can't we just eat people? What is wrong with eating the dead?
All these corpses should be going to fucking the next McDonald's cheeseburger.
When somebody dies, their family should eat them.
Waste not one.
And build a chair out of their bones. A throne in the living room. And that could be Daddy's chair.
Oh, man.
Get out of my chair! That was my father!
Man, I would love to, have you heard about the whole plastinization thing? Like, where they have, like, those Body Worlds exhibits where they take, like actual, like, human, like, corpses, and they do, like, plastinization process to them, where it's, like, they'll have, like, a human without a skin. That was, like, an actual human body without a skin, just, like, perfectly preserved in some pose of, like, playing basketball or something like that. It's fucking incredible. But I would love to have my body, like, preserved in some, like, way like that. The only thing is I actually looked into it, and you basically can't choose, like, what your body, like what they would use it for. Like, you can choose to have your body plastinated, but you can't be like, I want my body to be, like, riding a skateboard or, like, playing a Super Nintendo or something like that. Which kind of makes sense because, I mean, you get, like, tons of people out there who'd want, I mean, the process costs a lot of money, and it's very intense, and there's only a few people in the world who know how to do it. And you can't just make, like, fucking retarded requests. And, of course, you'd get idiots like me who'd be like, hey, I want my body to be immortalized forever with me, like, with my dick in my hand with, like, a fucking beer bottle sticking out of my fucking dead eye socket or something like that. I mean, that'd be... But imagine, though, if they didn't have that rule. If they didn't have that rule and you could say that you wanted your body to be put into any position, immortalized forever, and you were the guy who had to, like, work on that, what a fucked up job that would be. Like, fucking taking a corpse and infusing it with this plastic and, like, peeling its skin off so you can see, like, all, like, the muscles and, like, sinews and, like, all the fucking veins and arteries like they do in these exhibits. And then you're the guy who has to, like, position, like, wire up his hand so his hand is, like, on the guy's dick. And you got, like, this fucking, like, fleshy, sinewy, I don't even know what is inside the fucking human penis. I got one. What is inside there? Fucking some cushiony fucking shit that gets hard when blood goes into it. You're the guy who has to fucking
griddle meat.
Yeah, you're the guy who has to fucking put the hand on the dick and stick the beer in the eye socket. It'd be a terrible job. Terrible fucking job. I'd do that.
Yeah.
I'd probably do that job at least one shift. I'd give it a shot.
Autopsy shit freaks me the fuck out. I don't want one. I just want to be buried natural and stinking.
Have you ever watched one of those?
Yeah, they're fucking scary. I don't want it.
Affecting a human being? That's like...
I do not want some motherfucker ripping my chest open and fucking around with my insides.
I don't really care. I don't think I care, because it's just like my fucking shell. Like, if my consciousness has left it and you want to fucking dissect my body, it's not me. It's...
Fuck that. I'm an important...
This glitch in the podcast is brought to you by iFree Skype Recorder. iFree Skype Recorder, the only Skype recorder to fuck up in the middle of a fucking podcast. I just started back up again. So yeah, we missed.
Still going.
Oh, yours is still going? Okay. No, to me, like that, the whole body thing. It'd be like if you had like a hard drive in a computer and like the computer died, so you took the hard drive out, and that has the important information on it. And if you want to like smash up the computer or dissect it or anything like that, like that's like the computer is just like the shell, like the processing thing. Whereas like all the information on the hard drive, like that was me. So after like that's gone from it, I don't really care what happens to a computer as long as I have the information and data from it.
I want to be fed to my friends, assuming they're still alive.
Oh God, fed to your friends.
Yeah, and if my friends die first, I want them to be fed to me. And they know it.
That is, you got to have like this really like Bill Burr thing going on in these days. I don't know if you see it, but I've been seeing it all night. Have you been watching Bill Burr a lot? Maybe you guys are just
I do. I watch Bill Burr a lot.
Yeah, okay, well, it's something as rubbed off or something like that, and it's fucking great. It's fucking fantastic. So
I notice it sometimes. Like, I'll just be talking to myself, because I fucking talk to myself 24/7 because I'm a psycho. But I notice that, like, his inflection creeps into my voice every once in a while without me even, like, noticing it.
Yep, yeah, I've seen it, too. It's a wonderful thing. I haven't seen any problems with it.
He's so great. If there's one person that I could just be, like, a carbon copy of for the rest of my life, it'd be fine being him.
Yep. Yeah, I'd be fine with being Bill Burr. It's fucking brilliant. If you really like him, again, plug in the Joe Rogan podcast because I fucking love that thing. But watch the episode. I don't know how recent it was. Maybe not recent. Actually, I think it might have been a really, really old one. But it's basically like Joe Rogan and Bill Burr, and I think maybe Duncan Trussell. But they're just basically like sitting around and just like shooting the shit, and it's pure fucking gold because these guys are A, hilarious, and B, actually like highly intelligent for like the amount like that Bill Burr makes fun of himself or like what a fucking idiot he is. He's brilliant. Like he's
Yeah, he really is.
He's amazing perceptions on the world. So yeah, that was a fucking great episode.
I love comedians so much. Like I want to be one of them. Like if there's ever like a reason for me to want that and want that to be like I've just this year realized that that's what I want to do with my life.
Yeah.
And like if there's ever a reason, not even like fame or money or like job security wise, like even like disregarding all that stuff, just to be one of those guys and be a part of that club would be so awesome.
Oh, to be a part of the club, that would be fucking wicked. Yeah, because I was gonna say like you already pretty much are that. Like that's just your entire personality is a fucking comedian. To be a fucking part of the club on top of it, yeah, that'd be fucking gold.
Yeah, my buddy just sent me because he's interning at a venue.
Yeah.
And he just today sent me like a thing to sign up to like submit yourself to get a gig there. I'm looking at it, and it's fucking terrifying because that'd be like a real paying gig.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it.
Fucking try it. And you know what? If it sucks and it was like the worst experience and the worst thing that you ever did, then you still fucking try it because you don't know what if it actually works and what if it actually fucking works? Like yeah, fucking try it, man. Never not try something like that. Like all the tears and suffering and emotional trauma of having it being a horrible experience afterwards will be nothing compared to like if it actually works and it's like good. So it's like you really like there's really no way you can lose in the long run anyways. You're thinking about like short-term suffering, but yeah.
Oh man, yeah!
What was that? You blowing at the
I spit a cork out of my mouth and it like hit the wine bottle like halfway across the room.
Oh my god, I wish you had that on fucking film. Brilliant. That's brilliant.
Beautiful.
Got good aim, my friend. Good fucking aim. You used a lot of like spitting stuff out of your mouth in like certain places.
Oh yeah.
Experience with that, yeah.
Mucho cum.
Yeah. I think we all grew up during the 70s.
I love how the subtlety of the joke just like dies because I just can't articulate myself.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Much cum in my mouth.
Mucho cum. Yes. Male ejaculate. The Bits and Booze Party Cast. Well, I don't know. Do we have anything else to talk about?
I don't know. We still didn't talk about Ape Escape.
Oh my god, Ape Escape. That is right. All right, you know what?
For the last two podcasts, I've wanted to talk about Ape Escape, and
We're gonna talk about fucking Ape Escape after that.
Good.
All right, I can still kind of hear you. My mic cut out as I go into the bathroom to piss. Let's see. I don't know. Should I seriously cut this out? I don't even fucking know.
I don't know what the.
Going to the fucking bathroom to take a piss.
It seems like we've each taken between us like 5 pee breaks during the course of this.
Yeah. I have no fucking idea how like other podcasters do it because I just assume that everyone out there drinks constantly.
Ah, fuck it. It'll be less work to leave it in.
Yeah, exactly right. The Bits and Booze Party Cast featuring all the pee breaks. That'll be another thing we can do for highlight reels.
The Bits and Booze P-Cast.
Yeah, the Bits and Booze P-Cast. We can do like 10 minutes where we just basically cut out all the little segments where one of us take the piss. Like right now. Okay, I'm done taking a piss.
Woo! You did it.
Yep, we did it. We did it together. So, Ape Escape.
I love Ape Escape.
Podcast over. The end. Ape Escape. No, that was an N64 game though, right?
No, it was a PS1 game.
PS1 game? Oh, I thought it was N64.
Yeah. I think it was like in 2000, like a little bit, like a year before the PS2 came out.
Yeah.
Because like, I think it was like 1998 they made like the DualShock controllers with like the 2 analog sticks finally. And for a while, like it was just like a novelty, like it rumbled and you had the analog sticks, but not a lot of games really utilized it a lot. So like the whole idea behind Ape Escape was that it would be like the first game to really completely utilize both analog sticks. So the whole gameplay gimmick was that it had this really innovative, like different control setup from like a lot of platformers.
Right.
Where like R1 was jump instead of like the typical X or anything, and like you control the left stick, and the right stick controlled like all these different items and gadgets you'd get. And the face button, square X, circle, triangle, they would just like select your item and you'd use the joystick to use them.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of like innovative shit that you could do. And the controls were fucking good and everything.
Huh.
And that was all cool, but like.
What was the premise of the game? I assume there were apes escaping.
Oh yeah. Well, the premise of the game is that like you're this kid and you're friends with this scientist, this kindly old dude. It's kind of the old Dr. Wily guy, and he invents this like helmet that like makes like apes like really smart, but like this one ape who becomes the bad guy Spectre, he's like this fucking ape, this white ape.
Yeah.
He gets this helmet. He becomes a genius. He realizes that
Always got to be the white ape who's
Yeah.
evil.
He realizes that
White guilt again.
Yeah. You know, these fucking niggers making these games, you know,
Oh, God.
pushing their agenda on our children.
Wow. So Ape Escape. Tell me more about the storyline.
So this guy, this ape Spectre, this monkey, he gets this shit on his brain. He decides that fuck humans, they be enslaving us apes. You know, another parallel to the plight of the African American.
Oh God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
You know, it takes a white person to get their asses in gear, a white ape to get them organized. But the fuck.
So Ape Escape.
So Spectre starts this revolution of apes, and the story of the game is the apes are like, and there's time travel, so they're all over time and space. And then you go around with your little net controlled by the right joystick, and you catch the fucking apes. And it's like a platformer, so it's like, but instead of collectibles, it's apes that you collect. So
Right.
you can beat the game without catching all the apes, but if you catch all the apes, well, there you fucking go. You've caught all the motherfucking apes, man. You're the fucking Ape Escape expert.
Yeah.
But just beyond the gimmick of like the controls, it was like a really good game. Like, and PS1 and the N64 area was like a renaissance of platformers that has never been rivaled. And the platformers are dead now, you know?
Yeah, platformers don't really exist.
Back then, you had Super Mario 64, you had Donkey Kong 64,
Yeah.
you had Gex, you had Crash, you had Spyro, and you had motherfucking Ape Escape. And Ape Escape was so good. And, I mean, I remember being so psyched for it because it was like one of the only games that got like a 5 out of 5 on PSM, which is like the magazine that I was totally into.
Yeah.
But, game really was like really perfect. I mean, and like the whole like aesthetic of it, like the music and everything, like, I mean, like all the platformers had their own style and stuff. Like the Crash Bandicoot was like a very like nature versus industrial theme throughout the whole game. And these games back then were so good at theming that a lot of games lose now sight of. Because every game has to have like, you know, it's so good at like the theming. Like Crash Bandicoot was all like nature versus industrial. Spyro the Dragon was like all like a fantasy setting.
Yeah.
Gex was like more of a sci-fi futuristic setting.
Gex, that fucking gecko?
Yeah, because it was all about like TV and sci-fi and like a sort of
man.
like
You know, the first time I played that was on the motherfucking 3DO. We rented a fucking
Yes.
3DO for a fucking sleepover party. Motherfucking sailing Twirty if you're out there. Yeah. Staying at your fucking house, 13 years old, renting the fucking 3DO, playing some motherfucking Gex. That was awesome.
I love the Gex series.
Yeah.
Ape Escape had this really unique aesthetic, or this really unique like theming to it. Like it was time travel, so it was like all areas of like history. It was like dinosaurs, it was the future, it was the present, it was like samurai times, and like all these different eras of time.
Yeah.
But it all had this like kind of like futuristic undertone to it.
Cool.
And I don't know if that makes sense, but it's like something about like the way the music was composed. Really,
Interesting.
it was like I don't know how I explain it or how I'm even getting this vibe from it, but somehow from the way that like the music was composed and the whole aesthetic of it, it seemed like it had this like underlying current of like sort of like a sci-fi futuristic tone, even when it was like in the past. And it was really unique, and it has like a really unique and feel to it that like it's just Ape Escape, man.
Ape Escape.
I love fucking motherfucking Ape Escape, man.
I
And
pretty
you had
much
this
have
fucking
to
item.
actually try that now. So.
Oh my god! And like the items with like the right joystick, how they all control differently. Like the game like really utilized its gimmick and took like full control of like all the potential.
Yeah.
I mean, like you flick it, and that was like the net. You also had like a stun bat, but like it also had these things like the monkey radar, where like you'd like turn the joystick and it would like point you in the direction of the shit.
Yeah.
It had like an RC car where you could like get into like smaller areas that you could control with the right joystick and like go
nice.
like under like kind of like Samus's like morph ball.
Yeah.
And you could like find the apes, and it had this like hula hoop. You'd spin the joystick really fast, and you could go like super fast and go over like collapsing platforms and shit.
Oh wow.
And my favorite was like this a double bladed like a helicopter sort of like a double bladed lightsaber prop sort of thing.
Yeah.
And you spin the joystick, and it would spin around, and you'd flap in the air, and that would be like your triple jump, and that would help you. It's just like a really fun game to control and play.
Yeah, it
Just
sounds
like
like they actually like
Yeah.
went to a lot of work.
Really
Like
put
actually.
thought into like utilizing the shock.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and-
That's what I was trying to say.
And I think like in a roundabout way, like a lot of games nowadays, because every game nowadays uses both joysticks, and I think a lot of it owes a little bit to Ape Escape.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit underrated, I think.
Huh. Well, you should probably do an entire video about Ape Escape as well.
I should, and that's my
should.
Ape Escape ramble. I like that. I like games. I like games.
You like games?
What? Oh, shit!
The Bits and Booze Party Cast. So now that Jesse's gone, back to Spice Girls again. See, now Scary Spice never did it for me because I really didn't like the frizzy black hair. Like that kind of like curly thing that was all over the place.
Sporty Spice had fucking abs, man.
Sporty Spice did, yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna say it, ladies.
Yep.
It's fucking. I know. It's abs are sexy on a woman.
I've seen abs on a woman. I've never been with a woman who had like fucking amazing abs. So.
Neither have I. I've been with like
No.
really.
Okay, I thought we were talking about different things here. So okay.
I've been with
same
girls
boat.
who are like
Excellent.
really thin and like really like fit, like, you know. But I've never like seen like abs in real life. It's like a myth, I guess. Like finding a dragon or like catching like
Yeah.
like an Irish butterfly that
Yeah.
grants wishes at the end of a rainbow.
Oh, the old Irish butterfly at the end of the rainbow. Yes. I think we all know about that common lore. The wish-granting butterfly.
My chair has wheels on it, and it's just like it flies away at times, and it's like I'm trying to drag myself back to the microphone, and I'm running, but it's like fucking Scooby-Doo. Like my legs are moving on the floor, and I'm not moving anywhere because it's so slippery, and I'm fucking.
This is the best podcast that anyone's ever recorded.
God damn it! I'm coming. I'm getting closer. Yeah, boy.
You gotta get some carpet, man.
Yeah. Ooh, ride the edge of a lightning bolt. Space is the place and the sky's the limit. Funky like a monkey, the tower of power. Too sweet to be sour. Ooh, yeah. Dig it. Yeah.
That was beautiful. That's right there. That's like listening to a sermon, except church is cool.
Few men out there forced to see your woman, your main squeeze. Ooh, yeah. On her knees, begging to another man, and slapped by another man. That might make you a little bit over the edge. That might make you a little bit insane. Ooh, yeah. And maybe, Jake the Snake Roberts, it's time for you to see just how insane I am. Ooh, yeah. Dig it.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Fucking poetry in motion. Fuck. Good old Macho Man.
Good old goddamn Macho Man.
That guy was great. I do the voice right now, but I probably wouldn't be able to talk afterwards.
SummerSlam 98. Ooh, yeah.
I just like I went full Macho Man, and I just got stuck in like an infinite loop of like
Ooh, yeah. Elizabeth, I love you. Will you marry me? Get on your knees.
That's gonna be the highlight. That's gonna be the highlight. I'm gonna be just looping you. Just, I was trying so hard not to laugh through that because I wanted to just have the perfect clip of it. Motherfucker. Ugh. Well, does that conclude episode 2 of the Bits and Booze Party Cast? You got anything else?
Bored? Slam into a Slim Jim. Dig it. Yeah.
Okay, is it step into a Slim Jim or snap into a Slim Jim? Because I was always saying it step into a Slim Jim.
Oh, it's definitely snap into a Slim Jim.
Snap into a Slim Jim? Because I think it sounds better with step.
Well, after he says it, he snaps the Slim Jim in half and like.
I know, I fully know, but I still think stepping into a Slim Jim makes more sense to me. Like
How do you step into a meat candy?
I have no idea. I don't understand it. I don't pretend to. It just makes more sense to me. Step into a Slim Jim to me sounds more right than snap into a Slim Jim.
Art thou bored? I hear that goats eat paper. Art thou bored?
Okay, that's insane. There was no basis in any kind of reality for what I just spewed out on my face.
That wasn't referencing anything.
I hear that goats eat paper.
That's just you just completely just pulled that out of your ass. That's a Jesseism. And hopefully in the future other people will reference that, and then maybe it'll be a thing. Hold on, I'm trying to smoke.
Dig it? Yeah.
Uh-huh. Fuck, this sucks. Fuck. Oh, whoa. This lighter's going crazy on me here.
Macho Man is the cream of the crop. Yeah. The crop always rises to the top. The Macho Man's opponents, nothing but yesterday's news. Nothing but garbage. Yeah. Dig it.
Well, I'm just gonna say that podcast is probably that's probably it. That's probably what we got. I'm not gonna get off Skype, of course, but this is still part of the podcast. What we're saying right now. So if anyone's made it to this point in the podcast and you're still listening, again, you got to check out our sponsors, the Pony Collection from Fleshlight, featuring the silicone replica vaginas of all these imaginary cartoons.
Right at the edge of a rainbow dash, the space is the place. I fucked a pony. Yeah.
Wow. You know, we should almost order one of these things. And no.
Yes.
Let's not do that.
Let's do it.
Oh God.
All of my loyal subscribers donate to the Footwear Gets All 6 My Little Pony Fleshlights Fund, and I'll do a review on the whole package after I fuck them.
I'm not sure if I would listen to that review, but I would probably listen to it and then just never mention that I saw it.
Hey. Yes.
See, this is a perfect example of how like I've been learning to keep certain areas and aspects of my life separate from others, because I can think of so many people in my life who they never need to know. They never need to know what went on here tonight. They never need to know that. It would be disheartening to them. They wouldn't understand. They wouldn't understand it. But yeah. It's who I am. It's clearly who I am. It's this fucked up drunken character. But that's only a part of who I am. This is the me. This is the Johnny you get on the Beds and Booze Partycast. If you met me in real life and we were sitting at a coffee shop somewhere, I'd probably be fairly boring because I don't really like sitting at coffee shops. So next time, choose somewhere else. You fucking idiots. Choose somewhere that I like. A fucking arcade or something.
Farting.
Stupid are you? You can't stop farting. Well, it's probably because of your American diet, you fat fuck. Cheeseburger eating, strawberry margarita.
Strawberry margarita. I'll have the Cosmopolitan. It's not girly, it's manly, because I ordered it. Yeah, I'm the Macho Man. I am the Tower of Power. Too sweet to be sour. Yeah. Ooh, yeah, dig it.
Yeah, see, you should probably just like do stand-up comedy a little bit more because it's clearly suited to you. It's clearly suited to you.
Right there, the fork in the road. Elizabeth said go right. I said go left. We converged in the middle. When the Hulkamania, the fucking mega powers are gonna explode. Well, let me tell you something, Mean Gene. Me and the Macho Man here, we saw the fork in the road and we decided to team up for the greater good, dude. And we formed the Mega Powers. And now the Mega Powers are gonna run wild all over Madison Square Garden. So what you gonna do, brother?
Square Garden.
When Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage and all my Hulkamaniacs run wild on you, brother. Ooh, yeah, dig it.
Man, the best was the fucking Ultimate Warriors promo where he's like talking about Hulk Hogan flying in the plane over to like the wrestling match. He's like, when you're in that plane, Hulk Hogan, like break into the cockpit, seize the controls, Hulk Hogan, Yeah, take out the
You've
two
already
fighters.
made the sacrifice.
Yeah, we've already made the sacrifice. I pushed the blade into a nosedive, Hulk Hogan. like, was that guy? Did he do tons of drugs, or is he completely insane? Like,
You know what the funny thing is that if you watch him, if you see him now,
he's like a good guy. He's awesome.
as
He has the
crazy
most
as it is,
inspirational fucking videos. He's a completely normal guy who works out, and like I've seen a few of his videos. I'm like, holy shit! Like that was like legitimately inspirational. Like I don't even work out, and I felt fucking good after that.
and if you compare him to like Hulk Hogan with his divorces and his personal problems and his money troubles, and you compare him to all the wrestlers who have died early,
Wow.
he's like.
Wow,
as
like,
insane as he was, he's like the most healthy, got the best
ultimate
lifestyle right now.
He started out being like completely fucking insane, and then turned out to be like completely fucking legit. And then you look at like people like Hulk Hogan and Macho Man, who we thought were like awesome and like real American, all legit, and like now their lives are like kind of like fucked up. Like it's it's like fucking wrestling yin and yang fucking right there.
Macho's
Ultimate Warrior.
dead,
I got nothing but respect for him these days. Yeah, that was kind of sad. Well, it's always sad when somebody that we idolize as kids or into our adult years eventually passes into the great beyond.
I mean, Warrior is a raging homophobe, but he's got a great life.
Yeah. We all have our vices, right? We all have things that we could maybe work on and grow past. So, you can't throw the baby out with the bathwater, can you? Can you?
Well, if you're in China, you can.
If you're in China, yeah, that's what bathwater is for in China. Tossing out babies. Oh my god. The worst thing about trying to fucking smoke is having a lighter that doesn't work.
Oh,
And
shit!
Seriously, again?
I just...
You gonna be alright?
No.
Did you break something, spill something new on the boots? Tea, perhaps?
Really
Rob?
sad.
What? Strawberry margarita?
No, I broke my bracelet with the multicolored skulls on it. That was my favorite bracelet.
How? Why would you do
I
that?
don't know. I was messing with the string because there were knots in it, and I was pulling it, and it just shattered. I'm a total jewelry fag, so when my bracelet explodes and all my little multicolored rainbow skulls go flying over the room, I become a sad panda.
That is very sad. I don't know if I'd say it's sad panda category, but is it clear that I have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about at this point in the night after drinking beers and not doing any other things at all other than just drinking beers?
I wish I had more beers. I don't even drink beer, but I wish I had more, because fuck it.
You should.
Ah, God.
You should also smoke a lot of marijuana.
I would sooner fucking slit my throat with a rusty cock razor than smoke marijuana.
Nope. That's all I'm gonna say is nope.
Yeah, nope indeed. Just say nope. Me and Ronald Reagan, we don't agree on a lot of things, but we agree on marijuana. Just say no.
Oh, Ronald Reagan. He was so completely legitimately against drugs.
I
Just
fucking
like every
hate the
president
weeds.
should
I
be.
hate the doobies.
Do you?
I do.
Huh. That's sad to me. It's sad. They've been such an inspirational thing to me. Not that I've ever smoked pot before, and I never will, but just hearing about people who've done it have been enough for probably about...
Oh, I hate pot. You know what? I smoked pot like 3 times when I was like 12 years old. Maybe 13.
Really?
My cousin. Because whatever, you're a kid, you think it's cool or whatever, I don't know. We used to go around. We went to this person's house. I was like visiting him for the summer. Went to these people's houses.
Yeah.
We sit in this fucking dilapidated ass fucking house. This fucking girl is fucking messing around, rolling up doobies on the kitchen table, talking about whatever fucked up bullshit their fucking lives are worthless shit. Come on, man. Well, that fucking joint, man. Come on. Like, there's a fucking little girl there. A little kid. She must have been like 7, 8. She comes out in like a bath towel, fucking naked. She's got no clothes in the house. She's like, Mom, where are my clean clothes? I don't got any clean clothes. and this fucking stupid stoner cunt is sitting there rolling up a joint saying, "Shut the fuck up, go in your fucking room."
Jesus Christ. Holy
Fuck stoners.
fuck.
I hope every single goddamn one of them gets their fucking throat slit. I'd do it myself if I could get away with it. I'd take every motherfucking dopehead on the fucking planet and line them up in the streets outside of my own house and fucking slit their throats with a goddamn razor blade. I hate stoners. I hate pot. It's fucking disgusting. It smells like shit. People who smoke it are fucking retards. Fuck you all. Go fucking kill yourselves. I hope you all break your necks sucking your own dick.
I completely understand your sentiment, but you're talking about something it's not based around weed. It's based around like shitty human behavior, like and a specific kind of shitty humans.
It's totally congruent with the stoner pattern.
It is definitely congruent. But I, my friend, who are doing a podcast with you, who I assume we get along with very well, and you would not want to slit my throat. I partake of it. Well, yeah, I partake of it very, very frequently. And really, I really have no problems saying that anymore. Brother. Like, I could honestly, is anybody surprised to hear Johnny Old School saying like, yeah, he plays every now and then? So I drink a lot more than I plays, but I mean, I think it's fine. I think it's good. Like, I mean, in Canada, it's a little bit different because we're pretty like lax nation about it.
It's because you're my brother.
You basically walk down the street but
I get out of high school and all my friends go to college. And
but that's kind of my point, right? Because like I'm a cool guy and I do it, and so that means like your issues with it aren't so much like the substance itself. It's like the people, you know? Because like if it was the substance itself, if I did it, then you'd be like, holy shit, like that guy's a fucking idiot. Because like if it was just a substance, I would be like I'd be like fucking wasting my life or like being like a fucking cunt or like having some like daughter that I was like yelling at, that kind of stuff, right? So that's what kind of my point to you there is that like it's more about like the people, right?
Well, yeah, it's just like I've learned that much because it's like it's just like it's like every single year it's like another one of my friends. I go to a party and like every year more of my friends are in the dope smoking circle. Like the circle that I see, it gets larger and larger every year. And it's like I can't fucking stem the tide. I think it's fucking disgusting. I hate the fucking smell of it. I hate everything about it. And it's just like everyone I fucking know, and I just have to accept the fact that I live in a fucking 420 planet, and it's just like every motherfucker in the world is gonna smoke this shit, and I'm the weirdo. And I just learned that I just have to fucking accept that. I don't like it, but it's just fuck it. I just have to accept the fact that I'm the freak. I'm the one with the fucking trauma.
Huh. Oh, see, that gives me a lot to think about, because I'm picturing a setting, like, let's say, like, you were out here in Calgary with me, and we were sitting in my fucking little apartment here, which is actually set up pretty fucking sweet. I got, like, my multiple monitors here. I got a little beer fridge next to me. I got like a great old CRT TV, like a large one, but not too big. That's like prime for playing old school games. I got a GameCube. I got a fucking Super Nintendo. I got an NES, and I got the top loader NES, and I got shelves full of games. I don't really have many places to sit, but let's just assume that we are comfortable sitting here on the ground, and we were fucking chilling out together. We were just fucking chilling out. And let's say I want to fucking smoke pot. Let's say I was like, hey Jet, yeah, we're busting out like Snake Rattle and Roll for the NES or something like that. I don't know if you ever played it, but if you never played it, you'll love it because it's a great fucking 2-player, 3/4 perspective like multiplayer or fucking 2-player platforming fucking snake game. But yeah, if I was like, hey, like I'm gonna fucking light up, would you have an issue with that? Would you be like, fuck you, Johnny Old School for wanting to smoke?
I don't think I would, because like you're like a good guy and like one of my best friends.
Why wouldn't you? That's what I want to hear.
Because every year, it just like the more time goes on, the more I realize I can't fight it. The more I realize that everybody's a fucking part of this. That it's just like 420 is taking over the fucking world. You know, it just gets dulled every year. I mean, like I can sit by my friends now and they'll fucking light up, and like it hurts me a little bit because it's like we grew up together hating this stuff. I got in fights for you people against people who smoke this stuff. And now it's like I see people, I see my friends like joining the circle and lighting up, and it hurts me a little bit. But like every year it gets more dulled, and I just have to learn to accept it.
I get it.
And I am accepting it more and more, and it's just like fine, whatever, do what you want.
Yeah, I get it now. I
mean, like I would never turn like on my friends because of it, because it's just like, fuck it.
I get what you're saying now. I understand where you're coming from. So
it's just like my trauma and my fucked up thing. I just I can't smoke it.
It's personal. Yeah, it's personal. Yeah. So yeah. All right. Well, I won't try to convince you that you need to do it anymore. So, however,
I'll
hanging out someday.
I'll shoot up heroin into my dick and snort cocaine off a hooker's asshole. I mean, don't get me wrong here.
That's how I get started before every podcast.
I'll do literally anything else.
Literally anything else. Inject morphine into your eyeball socket, like in fucking Pitch Black. Do people really do that? Do people actually like inject things into their eyeballs? 'Cause that's the first time I've ever seen it. I never ever saw Pitch Black, but like this guy in it, like he's got like a morphine addiction, and he doesn't like stick a needle like into his actual eyeball, but he sticks it to like the corner of it. And like I think I remember even like looking up on the internet somewhere, like trying to figure out if like that was like a real thing. I guess this was like years ago when I was like a stupid kid and I was using like Netscape Navigator 1 or something like that. I think I read something on some forum somewhere saying it's probably some guy who knew like Dick Allwood was talking about saying, oh, that would actually absorb into your bloodstream like a lot faster, like some fucking horseshit. Actually, now that I think about it, yeah, that's actually complete horseshit movie nonsense. So, all right, well, I've successfully embarrassed myself. Moving on.
They should invent a drug. They should invent a drug that's just like, it's like a gas that shoots out of a dildo that you put in your ass, and you pump it like a basketball pump, and you just like stick this like big purple dildo in your ass, and you pump this like fumes up into your sphincter, and it gives you like this euphoric feeling.
That would actually work very well because you can take a lot of drugs anally because
Dude, you know me, I'll take anything anally.
From biological standpoint though, if you put like a chemical up your ass, you get a far better absorption rate than you do ingesting it or snorting it. Injecting, obviously. For all the kids out there, if you want to try drugs, definitely just inject them right into your veins because that usually leads to a happy and productive lifestyle. But taking them up the ass, that works too. That works too. Wow. Well,
we did it.
Yeah, I think we did. I don't know how to top that.
I don't know what we did, but we did it.
Yeah. We fully did it. Now we just need
one more party cast in the bag.
One more party cast in the motherfucking bag.